Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Hi.
what?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, everybody, to the Friday night special. I'm Cucumber. It's nice to meet you. Nice to see everybody. And tonight, we are playing Birds of a Feather. Heist together. With our wonderful GM, returning GM, Steve, the Dungeon Master.
Hello again, everybody.
Hello, hello. And this is Logan.
Hello.
Dino.
I'm Dino.
Brittany.
I'm Brittany.
All right, so that's everybody. We'll introduce our characters in a second. But first, let's discuss ways you can interact with the show. Starting with a little $0.05 down there. $0.05 will get you a blessing, which is a D6 that you can add to any roll whatsoever. So you can add it to damage, to checks, to whatever you like. Anything like that. Anything goes. And you can also use them to block DM rerolls, which are a thing. Steve, I don't think we gave you those last time.
What?
You get a shiny new toy.
Oh, man.
For $10, you can give any of the players rerolls. So the players, that's us, if we get like a nat 1, gives us another shot. Let's roll again. That's pretty helpful. It's good times. For $15, you can give Steve a DM reroll, which allows him to force us to reroll our good rolls. So if we get a nat 20, he can be like, eat shit and die, and then make us reroll that wonderful D20. And then at $25, you can describe a character of your choosing. They can be an enemy, they can be an ally, they can be whatever you want. And then Steve's just got to roll with it and inject it into our world. Kelsey, can I ask you a favor? Can you turn the air all the way down? Thank you. It's so very warm in here today.
I bring my girlfriend, and she's AC person.
Sorry. Just the arrow. So the little bottom arrow, just press it till it says like 69. Nice.
Nice.
Wow.
No. The air. She almost killed us all.
Anything but that button.
All the way down as far as it goes. I think it goes down to 68 or 69. Again. 68, I guess, is the one. But that's less funny, Ryan. And then, so yes, character drops, you can describe a character of your choosing. And $50, you can give DM powers to any player. DM powers are comprised of, if any of us get it, that means we get to take over the story for 1 full minute. Now, Logan, you're new. You don't know this. But we have to be very descriptive when we do this, all right?
Okay.
We gotta really, really paint the picture. Take over the scene, you see.
Got it.
Good.
Got it.
Good. Yes. Good.
No pressure.
And also know we
None at
win,
all.
the game's over.
Right. Just don't do that and you're golden. Ooh, and we got drops.
Ooh,
Ah.
you.
Oh,
That was accurate?
What?
It says Baba Yaga drop. Is that a thing? That's you?
Oh, shit. No.
Baba Yaga!
That's from last time.
Everything you do, Tip, does support the studio. I don't think we talked about tiered unlocks for this one, but Steve, if you got ideas for something big to happen every $100 or so, that'll.
I mean, I'll come up with something if we get $100. Something will go down.
All right.
All right.
Maybe a blimp eel.
A blimp eel.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's probably fun.
Well, great. All right, blimp eel, I guess, at 100. So I just have your next couples in mind. So that's about it. That's how the show functions. That's how y'all can interact with us. Gerberkern says, so is it 25 for a friend or 25 for an enemy? Is it 50 for a frenemy? No, frenemy is just a deal. You get 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Steve. Oh wait, no. Shh, you. Us. Let's introduce ourselves real quick, and then
Sure.
I'll give this. I guess I'll start because I'm still fucking talking. Hi everybody, I'm Cucumber. I'm playing a Tira. I am an Aarakocras with the top half-ish of a pelican. So I'm a big old pelican bird man. And
What's the bottom half?
And I'm a fighter. Oh man. And yeah, so I'm an Aarakocras fighter. Level 5. What you got?
I am Enrin. I'm an Aarakocras level 5. I'm an all-black beauty. And I am a sorceress as well as a warlock.
Wee wee.
Woo. Woo woo. I'm Dino. Hi. I'm playing Cluric Shantikas, or Clue for short. I'm an Aarakocras bard. Oh, and it's a rooster Aarakocras.
And a
sorry.
rooster. Oh, that's.
You're an
gross.
Aarakocras doodle.
Let's go with that.
And I'm Brittany. I'll be playing Brecken, and I am a monk. I also have some pretty purple plumage.
Pretty purple plumage.
All right.
to say.
Well, with all of you, you have all been living here in Stag's Cathedral. We're returning to the Tense River Basin today, which is a wonderful place as long as you're in the right places. And you're in one of the right places. You are in what's a place called Stag's Cathedral. It's called that because the trees here, they're redwoods, and they stagger up into the sky. They're enormous, the size of skyscrapers. Absolutely fantastical, which is great for you. You're birds. You're all Aarakocra. and so you have the advantage of your light bones and your wings, and you can hang out in the canopy safely. You don't have to deal with the dangerous things in the mid-story like those frog people, or the things on the bottom like those. Well, we won't even get to that. We'll figure that out soon. But yeah, you're having a wonderful time. It's a cloud forest. It's a lot like the Pacific Northwest, except that Seattle's not there. And while you were there, you were troublemakers, all of you. You're birds. You like taking stuff. You like fucking with people. You especially like fucking with those frogs because they are your nemesis. Of anyone that you don't like in this area, it's them. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on in this area, but mostly they're the biggest thorn in your side because they're very good at, if you go down into the mid-story, they have a tendency to freeze your wings. And when they do that, it's very hard for you to keep flying. And the mid-story is still bigger than most buildings that you'll see in most cities, and so plummeting to your death is almost inevitable. So they are not someone that you like to mess with. However, today, as people who live in the canopy, you're hanging around what's called Jay's Nest. That's the name of your little town. It's not very big. It's not very, very expansive because you're birds. You don't have to do that much. You go around. You have a good time. Now tell me just a little bit. I want to know a little bit about each of you. What are the things that you do for fun while you're hanging out in the canopy of this massive cloud forest?
All right. Well, I know I like to scoop down and pluck up whatever little folk there are, and just to like mess with them, I pop them in my big old leathery beak, for I am a pelican. And so I let them struggle for a bit, and then I like, and I dump them like down, like maybe 2 trees over, or something like that. So they're just like, no harm, no foul, just kind of, just like to confuse them.
Oh yeah, you have occasionally found little halflings that seem to be on their way to some sort of religious ceremony whenever you run into them. See, down in the far south corner, the far southeast, there seems to be a religious event that goes on there every year, and that seems to be a great time for you to dive down and harangue these halflings on their way there. Now it's not all halflings, so you got to be careful. You know, eyes can't be bigger than your mouth. If you try to do it to a human, it's not going to go so well. But the halflings, absolutely, they wobble around inside of your waddle, and you drop them, and they hate you.
Oh,
but they can't do anything about it because you of course ascend back up into the canopy, far away from them and in safety. And what do the rest of you do during your fun time?
I usually talk him into letting me take their little charms and trinkets while they're in his little
I see. There are a lot of interesting things that you're able to find here as people come through. Small trinkets that come from a place called the Pinion Dominion. That's where most of the humans live. They don't come down here because this is a dangerous place filled with frogs and birds, and no one wants to deal with frogs and birds. But every year when they come for that religious festival, you manage to pick up all sorts of fun little things, little trinkets that come from the places like Carcassonne. Sometimes you get decorative gem inlaid skulls that have lapis lazuli, and they're like these little, they come off of the bones and skulls of these fish that live in Carcassonne. You've never actually tasted one, but you imagine they're probably delicious. What about Clue?
Clue is often found entertaining the rest of his friends with music and tales of adventure, as well as fucking with whatever happens to be around. That sounds worse than it was supposed to be.
I'm catching
however,
a theme.
not wrong.
A theme with how you interact with others.
Yes,
as a group.
Not even just
pretty much. But Clue often revels in his own glory and how amazing he thinks he is. He's a little conceited. Also talks quite a bit, and is known to get in trouble quite often.
That's right. There are lots of people who are happy to listen to you. That's not true. No one is happy to listen to you, but they have to, because that's the wonderful thing about birds is you're pretty loud, and there's a lot of communication that goes on with birds as you're chirping in the area, and no one can necessarily figure out where you are. So I'm sure that there are many times that you have decided this is the time for a story, and no one else has agreed that this is the time for a story.
Absolutely.
And you obviously delight in telling these stories, and I'm sure when you get the chance, the frogs hate it too.
Oh, absolutely.
And what about Brecken?
Oh, Brecken really loves relocating personal objects. Somebody leaves something attended, gonna pick it up, I'll put it somewhere else and just watch them try to find it.
I see. So not stealing it. You are at odds with Anirin here, who just takes things. You want to generally relocate things to create the most chaos, but without doing any actual damage.
Oh yes, it's great fun.
Perfect. Yes, and yeah, there are plenty of opportunities for you to do that. In fact, sometimes when you do that, you have found small antlers. That seems to be one of the favorite things that the grung, the frog people, keep on them. And so you've relocated quite a few shed antlers that they have carved onto and kept I'm seeing that Mr. Toad wants to take you on a wild ride. Someone's listening.
Tally-ho!
Let's go.
There are some grung out there.
Yes.
Well, it seems like now that we figured out what you do as hobbies, that kind of gets us to that. So one day, as all of you are hanging out, I assume you're friends. You could be enemies. I don't know. But
Frenemies.
At least, yeah, you're frenemies. as you frenemy about, hanging out in the nest, you do see down on the ground, and it's rare that you see them come out this far because you're kind of to the far northeast of this forest, and they hang out more dead center. You see on the ground a gray-skinned frog man who probably is actually a toad, but he's not going to tell you that. He finds that offensive. And you see him waddling around, making his way across the ground, just kind of looking for some trouble. What do you all do about it?
I immediately dive out of the tree and right onto his face.
I would like to ask you a question about your poison resistance.
Never lick the frogs, Cucumber.
It's a toad, shit. Well, better than the grung. The grung.
I would like you to make a Constitution save.
Hell yeah.
At disadvantage because you ate it.
Hey, Tira's going for a trip. So Constitution saving throw. Ooh, I'm good at that. Not very good at that. I got a 12.
A 12? I'm afraid you're not good enough at that.
Oh, no.
And having tried to consume this toad, Mr. Toad, your friend, well, maybe. You don't know
I'm
yet.
just holding them in my
Colonel
satchel
Sanders
now.
is also on his way.
Oh, God. Thank you, Arsenal Roy.
I'm going to write that one down so I don't forget it while we're dealing with Mr. Toad.
Boy.
Yeah, you find yourself poisoned, which means you're now going to have disadvantage on a lot of the things that you try to do. And it's going to last for a little bit of a time.
I spit him back out slowly, just
He slides out and lays on his back, and he blinks a couple times because he's seen things that no one is meant to see, like the inside of a gullet of a half pelican bird, and he lays there for a moment, and then he sits up and he looks up. What are the rest of you doing while he is gobbling the toads?
I've immediately come down to ask him questions like, what does it look like? For science, of course. And I'm taking notes to add it to a song later.
Well, you'll see inside it was dark at first, and then suddenly it was light, and there was a lot of wobbling. I tried to push my way out, but everything was slippery and slick, and also there was a terrible smell of worms.
He does like worms. We're so sorry for your misadventure. What are you doing over here?
Oh, well, you see, I have this here.
And he turns and he has a carriage.
He says, I am a carriage man, and I like to take people on wild rides on it. I have now completely encapsulated the character I was asked for. You need to go somewhere. Would you like to? Oh my goodness! There's another Termic is coming. We're gonna
Chunk, who's not here's character named Termic.
Well, we're gonna. Since I don't know them, we're gonna find out a new Termic.
One thing for you to note is he calls himself a grunga, not a grung.
All right.
A grunga.
That's
Yes.
it.
Grunga.
Yes.
Grunga. That's the only detail I want. I want nothing else, and I want them to be very upset with what I do to them. But yes, as you're dealing with Mr. Toad, he has this nice carriage, and he sits up and he looks around because now I assume the other two of you have come down as well, or you.
Oh, no, I've swooped down. I'm over near this carriage. And I've got my quarterstaff out and I'm just poking around in there to see if there's
Would you like to
anything
make an
worth
investigation check?
Ooh.
First roll of the night.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, that's right. Second roll of the night.
Well,
Yours failed, so I'm just
someone's
not counting.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah, sure.
No, someone's a cock. It's
That's
rooster.
very true.
My investigation's an 11.
All right, with an 11, you do find a carriage, and you also find it has seats, and it has a large frog that seems to be leading the way. If you've ever seen one of those Pac-Man frogs, where they're kind of yellow and green, and they have a very large mouth, and it's this big broad thing that you realize is bigger than you. It is large size category, and you also realize that what your friend Atira has just done to this grung, this frog may be able to do to you.
Good thing I poked it with a stick.
That's a good point. I'd like an animal handling check to recover from this
No,
attack
no.
you've done.
Oh my goodness. Another 11.
Oh man, it does not like you, but it does not eat you because you did not terribly offend it. It's used to a little bit of poking and prodding. I mean, after all, sometimes carriages take children, and they just have to deal with that, the grabbing and pulling and the annoying, and it's hopefully been well fed. So you're fine for the moment. It doesn't seem to like you, but it doesn't seem to be attacking you. And Mr. Toad sits up.
Well, I see that you found my friend. His name is Joshua.
And he pets him gently, and Joshua turns and closes just one eye, and then closes just the other eye, and doesn't seem to really have a determinable emotional state because he's a frog. But Mr. Toad looks to you and says, I see I may have a full house or a full carriage, as it were. Now, what is a Naren doing?
So I landed at the back of the carriage, and I'm slowly making my way around,
Okay.
but kind of looking in the window.
All right. Yeah. Inside, you see that there are some comfortable seats. They're not super comfortable because they're frog comfortable. They're all a little bit wet. It seems to be a good carriage if you like being wet. And unfortunately, most of you are birds. Now, one of you is a pelican, so maybe you do like being wet. But most of you probably aren't a huge fan of it. Inside, you do, however, see another grung who is sitting back with his legs crossed and just smiling, cackling. Yes, hello.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
He says, hello, I am the grunga. and he takes a bow inside of the carriage. It's unnecessary for him to get out because he is small. And he looks out and says, have you taken the fun wild ride before? Would you like to come on the wild ride?
I really, really would.
Yes.
May
Absolutely.
I? May we? Do we all fit? If we don't, I don't.
If you all try to fit, you can fit. You are going to hang out with Chermik the Grunga, who is so excited to see you, and he hugs each of you as you get in. That's not
yes.
optional.
Yes, friend. Hello.
All right, if you're going to try to come in without getting a hug, you're going to need to make a dexterity save.
I will make a dexterity save. I don't need to be double poisoned.
Save as well.
I got a 17.
All right, you managed to avoid being poisoned by him.
Avoid the hug.
However,
Yeah,
anyone
I'm
who does
gonna
not
try
make this
to-
dexterity save.
I got a 23.
I'm sorry, that doesn't. No, you're fine. You managed to evade him as he tries to give you a hug.
I got a 10.
Oh no! Well, good news! You have a new friend and also a Constitution save to make.
Oh wait, I accepted the hug
Yeah, you also have a Constitution save to make.
because of reasons. I'm going to use my chunk die.
Reasons.
Oh, it failed me. Thanks a lot, Chunk. I rolled an 8.
I'm hearing that you're not feeling so good.
No.
This Termic has given you a nice big hug, a wet hug. You don't know how it got so wet, but it did. His arms are just a little bit sticky, and as he moves away, there's like little strands of goo that are left, and you feel sickened by this. You are poisoned now.
Oh, good.
I rolled a 9.
That you have also had this horrible experience. There's only one of you who has remained dry, and that is Brecken. However, that's going to end because you are getting into this carriage for the wild ride of which it will take you. Now, he is going to charge you. Are you all willing to pay Mr. Toad? When he gets up front and he sits in his seat and he kind of gives Joshua a little thunk, and he goes, well, are you all ready to go on my wild ride?
I don't like the way you say that, sir, but yes, I am.
I'm always down for an adventure, friend.
Yeah.
He says,
Curious
great.
where we're going.
And he's going to charge you all just a gold piece. He charges
Is
a
it?
pittance.
Is it like, are we paying it into his palm, or is there like a little box that we
There
can
is
put the
there
money in?
is a little box. So if you want to just put it in, you can do that.
Yeah.
It makes a little chunk.
I do the
sound.
coin on a string trick. I do the old Donald.
All right,
Duck.
I'm going to need you to roll a
Condition.
deception.
Alrighty. That's an unnatural 20.
Ah, wow. Did you include that you're poisoned?
Shit. No.
Oh.
Reroll.
Oh yeah.
Still 20 because
All
I
right.
just rolled a 23.
All right, well done. All right, then yeah, you successfully throw it in and pull it out, and he doesn't realize Mr. Toad is too busy paying attention to Joshua to be able to catch you stealing back a single gold piece that he asks for as a pittance for his amazing ride, and you don't feel like a dick, probably.
Probably.
That's my guess. You're a bird. But yeah, so if each of you is willing to throw in a gold piece, besides our friend Atira here.
Technically, I threw one in.
Absolutely not. Magician, sleight of hand. I'm going to take a coin, go near I'm going to tap the box, and then just palm it.
All right. Let's see that sleight of hand check.
I like it.
We got a 16.
All right. Yeah, you are successful. You also have not paid him, and also his tadpoles will go hungry. But the other two of you, do you pay him?
I do pay, yes.
Amazing. You get a warm feeling in your heart, knowing that you have done the
that's
bare
the
Does that
poison.
minimum.
mean it's stopping or?
Yeah. Does that mean there's no more poison? Did it heal?
No, the poison is absolutely still there.
If anything, your accelerated heart rate is really pumping it through.
And in Aaron, do you toss a gold coin?
I
in?
do, yes.
All right, you also get a warm feeling in your heart that like you're not you're doing the bare minimum, and you're
I
very
hate
proud of
tadpoles.
yourself. And Mr. Toad is up there, and of course Termic is back there, and he's very happy. He sits between those of you that he has hugged, so you're not going to get more poisoned, but you can keep hanging out with him. And he is so excited, and he says, "I have been on this ride so many times, and I am so excited to go on it again with you." And he puts another gold coin in, which makes you wonder just a little bit how long he's been in here and how many gold coins he happens to have on him, and why he is spending all of them on just riding this carriage around a forest that he probably already lives in. And at that point, Mr. Toad looks around and says, "Well, so we're all set. Hold on." You start moving. And then he starts giving you a tour that you'd never asked for, but that's how it goes. This is the wild ride. And he starts saying, "Well, when I was but a tadpole,
Oh no.
this tree, I remember this tree when it was still enormous. These are much older than I am. But I remember it. Yes, it
I'm
was
playing
a good
background
tree."
music, by the way.
Oh, perfect. Roll me whatever musical instrument you'd like.
I'll be using. Let's see. We're in the. I'll use the pan flute,
Ooh.
and I will not use the chunk die because that did not work out. oh no, it's not a natural one. Never mind. I thought it was a one. Performance, still good. 16.
All right, 16. Yeah, you've got a nice. Tell me a little bit about music. Are you doing fast paced, or are you trying to keep pace with him?
It's very whimsical, like foresty with the pan flute.
right, yeah. As he goes, he says, "Oh, yes, this tree and I, we go back a long, long time. Why, you may not remember this, but back in the day, when I was but a tadpole, there were birds in this tree. Have you seen the birds in this tree?" At this point, you recognize that Mr. Toad does not have the best vision, and he is unaware of the fact that you are his mortal enemies. All he knows is that you're here for a ride. And yes, there were all sorts of birds. Now, let me tell you about those birds. Why, they were terrible. They would swoop down, they would harangue us, and during the days of the celebrations of the Three Stags, that's when they would come out. You could see them, flocks of them, as those seagulls would fly in the sky, and that's when you knew you had to get those amphibomancers ready. Yes, we're very proud of our amphibomancers. And he flicks Joshua again, and he kind of hops forward, and you're speeding up. But the problem is you're being led by a frog, and so rather than going at a regular fast pace, you were going very fast and then stopping, and very fast and then stopping, and very fast and then stopping.
I'm looking around for a seatbelt of any sort.
There are no seatbelts.
Arms pressed up against wall, ceiling, like legs all spread out. Like
It's okay. We can fly if we flow out. It's right. Just keep
frame of the window.
He keeps taking you, and he keeps talking about, yes, the Three Stags. We find them holy. They're very important to us. We love them dearly. Every year they come down here, and one of them, I don't know if you know this, but these stags, like many deer, their antlers, they come off every year, and then they grow new ones. Why, this year I hear that we got one of those antlers. We've got to stay back where it belongs. It's safe. None of those birds can get to it, and that's good, because we hate them immensely. Yes, because of the feathers. Yes, we're feather racist. And
They sound terrible.
Yes, they are terrible. Why, yes, they're the worst.
It's cool.
Yes, they flap, and they do all sorts of terrible things. I can't stand them. If I got my hands on one of those birds, the things if I was younger. I'm very old now, and it's very difficult for me to do things, and I have arthritis in my fingers. What? And this tree, let me tell you about this tree. And he goes off on a tale about another tree, where he seems to have fond memories of this tree. And things are starting to speed up as he's moving. Most notably, what you recognize is he is heading towards the river. He doesn't seem to be slowing down as he is approaching the river. There's a river that runs down along the ground here. It's heading out towards the sea, which is north of you, the Rells Sea. And he seems to be heading right towards it. You notice that there is no bridge, there is no passage there. However, you do notice that he is amphibious, and you may gather that his carriage is as well.
I start trying the door.
You're assuming it's an open carriage.
Yes, you can just get out.
You succeed. Like, deuces! I just tuck and roll.
We're not in the taxi cab. It's
I don't know. Maybe this guy is part of
I like that the only aquatic bird was like, no, not water. I hate water. What if I? No, God, no. So yeah, he looks back and he says, "Oh no, too wild for you." He laughs way too long. It just keeps.
Should we get out of here?
Perhaps before we leave, I'm going to turn to the back wherever there's trunks and stuff. Is there anything worth stealing before we fly away?
Roll me an investigation check.
Cool.
Oh, I'm totally
where's that
taking that
gold
coin box.
I know.
Coin
Yeah.
box is mine.
It is attached.
Oh.
So
I don't know where I
you can
both.
roll a carpentry tools check if you happen to have them.
Oh, I do not. I rolled two natural ones because I don't know why I rolled two.
I have a crowbar.
Yes.
You get inspiration for that.
It's shaped like a crow because we're bird
What am I
people.
rolling?
Oh my gosh.
What are you? Yeah. What is she rolling?
What are you?
With the crowbar?
Are you trying to take the thing out?
Oh, yeah.
We'll call it just a strength check.
13.
All right. With a 13, yes, you manage to stick the thing in
got the
and
box.
start ripping it out. And it is at that point that any of you can make a perception check. The DC is 2.
Great.
Oh, good. Turmeric is here in the carriage with you right now.
Is he
He's
doing anything
sitting
about it?
next to you, and he goes, "Oh no, you can't take that. That's not for you. What are you doing
doing? It's broken, Mr. Toad! Mr. Toad, they have broken your carriage in the back here.
Do I hear this ruckus from outside the carriage?
You do.
I
yes.
take flight with my loaded crossbow and just follow behind the carriage just in case there's trouble.
I like that. I like this went from let's take a nice ride to I think we're gonna murder this man and take the 8 gold he has.
I want to I don't want to kill him. I want to just try to kick him out of the carriage.
I'm just gonna say, anytime you start a conversation with, I don't want to kill you, but like,
Just want to be specific because we have a crossbow out and ready to go.
All right. So that's gonna be a contested athletics check.
Let's do it.
Remember to be at disadvantage. You've been hugging.
That's right. It is. Oh!
Oh no!
I lost one of them.
Well, I'm not getting that.
Disadvantage athletics. 13.
13. All right. Let's see how he does. We'll just roll him. That's an 8. Yes,
Yeah!
you managed to give him a big old hug, and you can shove with your action. You are able to shove Termic out of this carriage.
Take that chunk.
He loved this ride. He was having such a good time, and you've thrown him on the ground, and he looks up and he sees a pelican with a crossbow.
I just shake my head and I'm like, don't you fucking try.
All right, roll me an intimidation check.
Alrighty, oh dear. And still a disadvantage because poison?
Yeah.
Keen, no, we didn't kick out the driver. We kicked out Termic.
That's a 6 then. So I'm like, don't even.
And he's, what are you doing? Why? I know! This is terrible! And he lays on his back, kicking his legs out. His legs are very long because he's a frog. He's a fronga. I'm sorry, I don't want to call him by the wrong thing. And he starts kicking his legs, and he goes, no! And Mr. Toad is going to have to make a check. Oh, he's terrified. There's chaos. He doesn't know what to do. And he goes, oh, Joshua, hyperspeed.
No.
And Joshua starts taking big leaps. These are leaps big enough and strong enough that they actually lift the carriage up off the ground. Each one of them crashes it back down. It seems to be ready for this. It's built for this, but you're not. And those of you who are still inside holding on to this coin box as you are being dragged are having a time of your life. Everybody can make me a quick, we'll call it a dexterity save to avoid bumping your head against the inside of this carriage.
Okay.
23.
You're fine.
Well, y'all are rolling. Zach Man, I got
my
poisoned
dexterity.
before that.
It's the one right over here.
That one?
Saving throws? Yeah, +2.
Oh god.
And we make it a disadvantage because we're poisoned.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. With disadvantage, I'm at 17.
All right, you're fine.
Is the box almost out? Are we?
Yeah, you have the box in hand.
Oh, great.
10.
10. You have hit your head, and it's not too bad. It's not too bad. You're going to take only 1 point of damage.
Okay.
One point of bludgeoning damage as you smack
Let's
your
go.
face against the back.
All
right, so
can we leave? We have the box. Let's go. Yeah?
the door is open.
Let's go. Let's go. We fly out of there.
All right. So as you start heading out, Mr. Toad, he doesn't realize it, and he's just keep going. And Joshua is taking these bigger and bigger leaps. He's actually jumping up against the trees and bumping off of them. It's like a Super Mario game because he's doing that double jump thing where it just jumps up and jumps off another tree, and he's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I wish I stayed in that thing. That looks dope.
Yeah, at this point, the ride becomes wild, just as promised. And it's an amazing time. Anyone who is still inside, which is none of you, including Termic, who has been left on the ground and has a crossbow leveled at him by a puke, would have an amazing time. This is great. It's so much fun for Mr. Toad, except he's already terrified. And you see him going off to this, is like, I tried to give you a history lesson. No. And then he finds himself. He goes off into the woods, back towards that central area, and dives into the river with the carriage, and it starts going upriver. What do you want to do with poor terrified? Well, not that terrified Termic, who has been left on the ground.
I'd like to just kind of like shake the crossbow at him, like, go on, get out of here. You didn't see nothing, right, Grunga? Right?
I saw a lot, and then he gets anyway, and he gets up and he starts running, which you find strange because most frogs jump, and he's like, no, I'm going to run, and he 1 foot after the other, and he's very floppy as he does it, and it's uncomfortable to watch, and it's a little bit awkward, but if you let him go, he will disappear into the mists.
I just want to yell as he's leaving. I just want to yell, if you ever come back, we'll kill ya! Kill ya! Somebody's getting the reference. Good.
You hear a ribbit, and then he's gone. But yeah, so you've had yourself almost a wild ride. What do you want to do right now? You've got a little bit of time. You've just had a thing. You've got a box with you.
Yeah, let's count out what's in the box.
Some gold?
Yeah, let's break it open.
I would like to go ahead and just grab my staff and just like start whacking the box.
All right. You're gonna hit. So roll me damage for your staff.
Let's do it. You want just the damage?
Yeah, just the damage.
It's gonna be.
I mean, well, that is as long as Naren puts it down. If Naren is still holding it, you get to make
No,
an
I put it
attack
down.
on a Naren. Oh,
The damage is 9.
9. All right. It is a mimic, and it eats. No, you break it open, and it is fine. You shatter it. The top pops open, and when you look inside, you find that it would have had more gold, but some people didn't pay, and
It's okay, we would have gotten back anyway.
And so we'll roll it. We'll roll a d100.
So we're splitting this evenly, right?
Because he's been working real hard. Let's see how much gold is in there. 85 gold.
Damn.
Yeah, there's 85 gold in there. You gather that mostly came from Termic, who has been riding this for, you assume, days. And just
Like all the
putting
coins have
another
his
coin
face.
in, another coin in, and another coin in. So yeah, you have looted 85 gold from this poor old toad man.
Sweet. Do you want to add that to your inventory since you opened it?
Oh.
It's mine now.
All right, so you've had yourself a long day, and as you continue, I'm assuming you can hang out on the ground a little bit, enjoy that you have run off the grung here that you hate so utterly, and yeah, you're having a little bit of time. Enough time passes that like you get over the poisoned effects.
Okay.
So you're no longer poisoned, but you're hanging out, having a time. At that point, you can each make me a perception check.
Ooh. That's an 11 from me. 11.
Perception.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. All right.
Ooh.
All right.
12.
You
Nat 20's got it, though.
you see someone moving through the brush. It's a little ways off to the west, and they're wearing a hat that covers most of their head, and they're wearing kind of tan clothes, something that'll help them sort of blend in and hide. But you spot them. You see them coming closer. They have a big white mustache, comes down, and a goatee, in fact.
Do I recognize their shape?
Humanoid.
Okay.
They're definitely they look like they must be a pinion of some sort. They're one of the humans that lives in the Tense River Basin. They haven't spotted you yet, but they've heard you. They seem to be approaching. What do you want to do?
Pelican stuff.
Okay.
Doing pelican stuff.
There's somebody coming.
Okay.
Just gonna go find a bush.
Should I shoot him?
You can go investigate.
I'll.
No.
Keep doing
Yes. No. Keep shoot him. Don't shoot him.
No.
Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him.
Don't shoot.
Hi.
All right, perfect.
did the same thing.
It is at that point. It is at that point that you notice, Aaron, that he suddenly stops, and at that point you can he's gonna try to hide, but you've got an eye on him. The rest of you don't. If you want to try to spot him, it's easy. He rolled a natural 1.
Great.
Here I am.
I was going to be like, you can make a check, but no. Instead, he rolled a natural 1, and he hides behind a tree that is obviously too small for him. But he doesn't seem to notice it because there are leaves right here in front of his eyes, and he thinks he's done a great job, and he smiles to himself, and he takes out a long crossbow. It's unusually long, for no apparent reason, except that it gives you the idea he's a hunter. And what do you want to do about this man hiding behind 2 leaves?
We can see you, sir.
Well, I say what?
We can see you,
Yeah,
sir.
You're hiding terribly. Your crossbow is like twice the side of the thing you're hiding behind.
Well, I say you should come over here, and I'm gonna show you a thing or two.
I like things or toes.
Yeah. Maybe 3s.
I think I'm going to just fly and end up behind him. I'm gonna hope that he doesn't notice me and he's just so focused
All right,
on the other voices.
let's do both a stealth and an acrobatics check.
Oh my gosh, all of
It's
it.
a double check.
All right.
Extra
My
I'm gonna cast
stealth?
message and just into his own head, just be like, I could show you a thing or two, my friend, and just like just into his own mind.
He's gonna whisper back. Well, I say I can show you the secret blend of herbs and spices.
My stealth was
Doesn't sound bad actually.
13 and
Like chicken.
I do like chicken.
my
I'm not a
acrobatics
chicken,
is
it doesn't
24.
matter.
All right, you managed to
I'm
make it
rooster.
over him, but he does see you as you go over
Watch
him.
out.
And as you fly over him, if you'd like, make me a quick perception check.
Oh boy.
I don't wanna.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna cast disguise self and make myself look like a human.
I mean, he can see you, but okay.
Perception's 14.
All right, with a 14, you notice that he has lapels. You assume that maybe he was once a part of an armed forces of some sort. You're not sure exactly what his rank is unless you can make a history check.
Admiral Sanders.
All right. History check gets me an 8.
Oh yeah, he's major. He's a major. Absolutely, that's what you think. He's a major.
Major chicken.
And yeah, he watches you go over and he cocks his crossbow, which takes a lot of work because, like I said, it's a very long crossbow. And he turns it and he points it at you and he says, "Well, I say you're just who I'm looking for."
Real quick, 20-sided, 20 sides to every story. Thank you for the raid. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
thank
All
you
my
for the raid.
friends. Hi, thanks for joining us.
We're playing a bird campaign.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
We're all Aarakocras, and currently we're fighting with Major Sanders.
Major Sanders.
Sanders.
That's what you think, and none of you are experts on military history, and so you're not sure what rank he is, but you are.
That works out for
definitely a major.
Thanks for the cheers and every old.
I don't want to find out about the 11 herbs and spices.
What time of day is it?
It's a daytime.
It's getting closer to the evening right now, but it's still daylight out.
Okay.
And yeah, he levels this weapon at you, and he says, I say, would you like to come with me? Maybe all of you.
Sir, I don't know what you think you're doing, but there's 4 of us and 1 of you. How do you think this ends?
Well, I think it ends deliciously.
Listen, if you want to feed us, we'll be happy to come with.
Oh well, I wouldn't want to eat you, sir. But let me tell you, if you remember changing sides, you you come over here, you help me out. I think we could, then it's 3 on 2. And well, I think you will enjoy what I'm gonna do to them.
It's right, because I look like a human. Forgot. Yes, I'm gonna walk on over and be like, okay, and I'll walk right up to him, and I want to rip the crossbow out of his hands when I get to him.
All right, he lets you approach because he's like he's assuming that you were a bird or you were a man in disguise as a bird.
Of course, I
Because
was
that's how hunters
infiltrating.
be. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your disguise as a human.
Oh, I want to look. Let's see. Very, very blue collar, like a button-up t-shirt, a button-up shirt with those sleeves rolled up and a tie.
So, like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're very, very like mild-mannered human, not like any
All right.
anything threatening.
Office worker
Non-threatening,
chic.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
wait, it's right.
all right. Yeah. He'll let you come up close, and you can make an attack roll, but you can do it at advantage because he thinks that you're just a human buddy.
Fuck yeah. Attack. Was this strength or?
If you have a weapon, you can roll it as though it were that weapon.
Sure, I'll use my short sword and I'll
Yeah.
leverage it. Ooh, that was pretty good. 21.
Ooh, a 21. Yeah, you managed to grab hold of his very long, unnecessarily long crossbow, and you can try to wrest it away from him. Roll me how much damage you would do. You're not going to do damage, but we're going to use that to determine how good your hit was.
Sweet short sword is D6. Where's my D6s? I got him. Here we go. Llama.
Llama?
Yeah, I got a llama. See, there's a llama on it.
Oh,
it's cute.
It didn't roll well though. 3.
All right. With 3, you get one of his hands is off of it, so he now can't fire it, which is important because if he could, he would, and he can't, but he went, so he shan't. And so you have managed to get it part of the way out, and he says, "I say, this is mine. You're gonna have to shoot them with something of your own."
Don't worry, I have yours, and I'm gonna just wrestle the rest of it away.
All right. We're gonna do a contested athletics check.
Let's do it. Ooh, I thought I dropped it. Oh no. 5.
Well, he rolled it 2, so you're
Yay!
now the proud owner of Major Sanders' extra long crossbow.
And I'll just like leverage it back at him and then drop the disguise self.
All right. So now that you have frightened, he said, I say, I've been chicken swoggled. How dare!
Sir, I am a rooster.
And he looks you up and down, and he says, well, I see that's true, and I see as the cock crows that perhaps I should just be stepping off.
And I'll
slowly starts to
cock-a-doodle-doo, bitch. Just hold it to him and not fire it, but like it just show that I have it ready.
I fire it. I've been holding my crossbow this whole time.
Yeah, you want to shoot at him?
Yeah, I was waiting for him to get far away from Clue.
Yeah, he gets 10 feet away. Is that far enough?
That's oh yeah, my range is great.
Yeah.
That's 23 to hit.
Oh yeah, you just shot this man in the lapel. He's lost a rank. And,
oh no, he's now captain.
Unfortunately, Captain Sanders here takes the hit. How much damage do you do?
Private
6
Sanders.
damage.
Oh no, he like takes it in the shoulder, and goes back and goes, oh, I say, betrayal. What has happened here?
If I'm able to take a full turn, I get 2 attacks. I'm gonna shoot him.
Oh no, we're gonna murder Colonel Sanders.
What we're gonna do now? We're gonna throw you into initiative because he wants to fight back.
Oh, good. Good thing we have his crossbow.
All right, I got a 17 for my initiative.
All right.
23.
All right. So let me see. So I'm going to write these down because sometimes it's hard to keep track of them. 23 is Brecken. I'm guessing that's the highest.
So,
Yeah.
What's next highest?
I have 18.
18. All right. So next highest we've got
17.
Clue. We've got Clue, and then we've got
2 17s.
Teal.
Oh,
okay. All right. Which one of you has the higher dexterity?
my dex is +3.
You did
Plus
that.
2. Yeah, he does.
All right. Cool. And then we have an Aaron, and he rolled a 9. So Mr. Sanders, because you have knocked off his rank, and he's very upset about it. He's gonna go last. So yeah, you can now take 2 attacks.
Oh, God.
Because you get your full round
We're
starting
murdering
right
Colonel
now.
Yay! So 2 new attacks?
Yep. That last attack just started us off,
Mr.
and so now you get a full proper round.
Is Brecken not ahead of me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong. Yes, Brecken.
Yes.
Yeah, what about me? Gee.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Never mind. I take it back. I go, no.
No.
All right. So
Went to a service to other bird folk by killing him. That's
I assume I'm pretty close to him since I flew behind him and he was
Yeah. If you want to run up to him and deal with him, you're close enough that you can do that this round.
awesome. So I'm going to come at him with my quarterstaff.
All right.
And I am going to go right for his stomach. I'm just going to ram right.
Wow.
Oof.
Wow.
And we're going to do that with a 27.
All right, that is going to hit him. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Beautiful. 10.
All right. Oh, he's taking a bunch of damage right now, and he doubles over and he holds his stomach, and then he looks up at you. I say, why have you done this to me? and then it will be Clue's
4
turn.
kicks.
Wow. Clue, what would you like to do?
oh God. I have his crossbow, right?
Yes, you do. You have proficiency in extra long crossbow.
Do I have proficiency? I have proficiency in crossbow, hand crossbows, I guess.
Just hand crossbows?
It looks like
not
it.
light or heavy?
It looks like just hand, yeah.
Well, fortunately, it's a simple weapon, so if you have simple weapons, you can use it.
I do. Yay! Is it a heavy crossbow or a light crossbow?
It's a heavy crossbow.
Heavy crossbow. Okay. Then yes, I will use that. And where do I want to shoot him? Let's see if I hit him. That'll probably be a good idea. Oh no! It was on 19. It rolled to 1. Natural 1.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
It's a little heavier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, you just missed because we're not dicks
Crossbow
about
bolt
that.
stays put. The crossbow.
Yeah, you just kind of fall back a little bit and you look at it and like you didn't realize the power of it, but now that you've done that, you do. You're gonna realize that it's gonna do an extra D4 of damage whenever you do hit with it. So it is a like this colonel came ready. I'm sorry, you didn't know that. That's a spoiler. It's a spoiler that he's a colonel.
So it's a heavy crossbow. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Good. You're good. Then in that case, I will. He's 10 feet away from me.
Yeah.
My bonus action, I will turn to Tira and that's your name, right? Tira. Yes. And just be like, finish him, and I'll give you a bardic.
Soul is mine.
A bardic inspiration as my bonus action.
All right. Awesome.
So you have 1 inspiration.
All right. Well, now it is Atira's turn.
Oh, wait, that's me.
You have a D8.
What?
You have a D8 to add to whatever.
To add to whatever? Oh, fuck yeah. All right. Wait, to a check or to the damage?
Oh.
Here,
Ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. So not the damage, just the roll.
Okay, cool. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna crossbow him again. That's a 20 to hit, unnatural.
I say, that's my face.
I shoot him in the face for 7 damage.
All right.
Seven
Yeah,
face damage.
he's not liking this. He's taking a bunch of damage now.
And then I got the next one is a 23 to hit. I don't think
That'll
I need
also
that.
hit, yeah.
And then bloop. Gonna get max damage 11. Twang.
All right. Yeah, he's taking a bunch of damage. And he's looking bloodied, but he doesn't look like he's down.
Oh god.
Like he looks up and you gather that being a high-ranking military official comes with some experience, and he might actually know a little bit of what he's doing. So next up I have Naren.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast his ass.
Yes, you.
All right,
Yeah.
specifically the ass.
Yes.
All right.
Make him extra crispy.
Yeah. Gotta scorch him. Do I do 19?
Plus 5, yeah.
So 24?
Yeah, you hit him and he goes, I say my thigh meat. And you have successfully struck him.
Oh, do D10.
Oh.
The one that looks like it. No, the one with the number. That one. Yeah.
The one I handed you before we started.
8.
8. All right. You do 8 damage.
forgot which
He's
one.
still not quite down, but he's not looking too happy. And it is now his turn. How
Wait, she has one more Eldritch Blast.
Oh, fair enough.
right.
Yeah, that's right. Fifth level.
It says count 2.
Oh. Do I do...
Same thing, another
do
attack.
another attack.
One for each hand. Pacal.
Oh, 9.
9 is going to miss it.
Dang.
He's going to deflect it with also his other thigh. And he says,
mightier
I say, only one of my thighs is dark meat. And with that, he looks up and he looks angry. And the first thing that happens is you see his eyes kind of glow. And he says, by the power vested in me by Wendy. And he takes him a
They're
deep
in
breath.
cahoots.
And you see some of his wounds start to heal up just a little bit.
What have we done?
All right, anyone who wants to, you can make a quick, we'll say an insight check.
Alrighty.
Sure.
Insight check. It's a 17.
I'm not gonna use this die anymore.
All right,
11.
you
3.
think this man is a fighter, and you think he has just used his second wind in order to restore some of his hit points.
I can do that too.
But not until after his turn. And which one of you is the closest? You're 10 feet away. You came up right next to
I
him.
was right up on him.
Yeah.
That's right.
Punchy.
All right, so the two of you who are closest to him,
Poke.
he's going to make 2 attacks. First, he's just going to make 1 against you, against Brecken, and it's a 17 to hit.
That just hits me.
All right.
No.
Yeah, he's going to come at you, and he seems to have a mallet that's used for tenderizing flesh because he's good at cooking, and he's going to smack you with it. Oops, and I couldn't see where those went because I had too many dice.
No such thing.
And he does 9 damage to you,
I don't want that.
striking you with his meat tenderizer.
Oh.
And with his other attack, instead of attacking, what he does is he grabs from his vest. He has a pouch.
Oh no.
And he takes the pouch and he throws it into the air with his item interaction. And he takes that mallet and he swings at it and he hits it, striking it, bursting it in the air. And you see some sort of strange combination of herbs and spices flying out over you in a cloud. The two of you who are closest, that's going to be Klurk and Brecken. You're both going to need to make for me a Constitution saving throw
He's
against
gonna
Delicious.
brat him.
Oh no.
You've been seasoned.
Oh.
9.
Oh no.
I'm tender and spicy.
You are, yes. Both of you have been struck with deliciousness. You are so delicious that everybody has advantage on attacking you for the next day.
Oh no.
Sorry. He's ready for this fight. But now it is Brecken's turn again. You delicious bird.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Put him in a body bag.
Oh, he's gonna get bonus action so hard. So I'm gonna go again.
Sounds dirty.
I'm gonna go after him with the quarterstaff again, but this time, yeah, no, I'm just going straight for his head.
All right.
Ryan, I hate you. Ryan said they'll recover in time.
Oh.
Well done. For that, I'm giving Colonel Sanders advantage.
Oh no!
He gains inspiration.
Mikey, Matt, thank you for the cheers.
Cheers.
Yay, that's a 21 to hit.
21 is going to hit him. Roll your damage.
Awesome. And we're gonna hit him for 10.
All right.
And then I'm going to bonus action the flurry of blows.
Okay.
And that's gonna be 23 to hit.
That's going to hit.
Beautiful. Mother. Only 5.
All right. Well, you have undone all of the healing that he did to himself and just a little tiny bit more. So next up, we've got Klug.
Okay.
Delicious bird.
Yes. I will. Oh, let's see. Let's show him a thing or two. Okay. Let's do this. No, I don't do it because she's in the way. Never mind. Okay, we'll do. I'll just. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna shoot him again.
All right.
I'm gonna skewer the motherfucker.
Yarr.
Natural 20.
All right. Yeah, you hit him.
All right. And then that is a heavy crossbow is D10, right? Oh, plus a D4.
Yep.
So that means I get to roll. D10s are over here. I gotta find him, Mama.
I'm sorry. Oh, the llama.
Llama.
I thought you were like, I gotta find my mama.
Mama, please.
Mama, please help me. I'm
so-
fighting the colonel.
14 plus 2 is 16.
All right. That's going to be enough. You've taken him down. You
right.
managed to shoot him with his own crossbow, and he looks down right into his heart, and he looks at her and he says, "No, well, I don't say anything more." And then he just slumps down on the ground.
I'm gonna take some of the herbs and spices from my shoulders and just sprinkle them on.
Salt bam.
He is delicious, and you have defeated Major Sanders.
I'm gonna bury him in a bucket. And I walk up with my sword.
Quadroke in the chat says, "What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?"
Not anymore.
Family Fantasy RPG says that salt might cog burn.
Oh man!
All right, so yeah, you have successfully defeated him, and you've made yourself away with a extra heavy crossbow,
Extra heavy crossbow.
inordinately long heavy crossbow, which you should note is going to be very difficult for you to hide.
That's fair.
But it's going to do an extra D4 damage, so
It's true.
don't be sad about it.
Can he fly with it?
I'll be fine.
Yes, he can fly with it, but if he had 2 of these, he couldn't.
No.
Fortunately, you've only faced 1, Colonel Sanders. But
can only
maybe
do
that'll change. Who knows what
God.
new characters people are going to drop on me that you have to deal with.
Hint, hint.
Look, if we have to make our way through all of, like, if Ronald McDonald comes in next, we'll be ready. We'll be ready.
League of fast food mascots.
Yes, he is the clown prince of Carcassonne. So yeah, you successfully defeated Colonel Sanders, and the night is coming on you. You see the sun is going down, the moon is coming up. You are aware that in the dark things get more dangerous here, especially down here on the ground, and no less in the mid-story. But the canopy is a pretty safe place to be. Would you like to go back up there, or would you like to keep fucking around?
I would like to loot Colonel Sanders'
All right. Roll the investigation check.
Oh, yes, please.
I will assist if possible.
Yeah.
Can we
so
all
you
just
have
kind of
advantage
peck
on
at him like?
You can also do that, but it has no mechanical benefit.
There's 11
just
herbs
trying
and
to-
spices.
Oh,
Brush out the
Nat
spices.
20. Nat 20 for a
Nat 20.
22.
All right. Yes. As you are searching him, you do find a couple of things. One you find that he has another set of herbs and spices.
Yeah.
I
that-
pocket those to make someone else very delicious.
Yes. Now to use it, you will need to use you're going to need to use a bludgeoning weapon. And throw it in the air. It's going to take an attack, and it's going to affect anyone within 10 feet. So that's the stats on it that you're going to need.
I love that.
Do
also,
my fists count as a bludgeoning weapon? Because I
They are
realize all
not
I
going to
have
be
are
strong
sharp
enough.
things.
They're not going to be strong enough to burst open
He had
this.
a mallet.
Oh, he had a mallet?
He did have a mallet. Do you want to take his meat tenderizer?
I want to take his tenderizer.
You can take his meat tenderizer. You now have his meat tenderizer. Remember that you're going to have to be armed with it if you're going to be using it.
Yep.
So you won't be able to be necessarily armed with something else in that hand.
Right.
And the meat tenderizer itself, it's still pretty handy. It's effectively a mace.
Sweet.
All right.
Sweet.
And you also find a couple other things. One, you find his epaulets. That you one is destroyed, but the other one, now that you get a closer look, this man was a colonel. Surprise! I know, we're all shocked. Yes, you now can claim false valor if you feel like it, because you have evidence that you are a colonel, or at least half evidence.
I'm going to take it and like stitch it onto like my backpack as like a token or like a trophy.
All right, perfect. Yeah, and besides that, like, he's got nice clothes, but like it'd be weird for you to strip him. I mean, who knows? Chicken strips. But but yeah,
Does he have a hat?
he does have a hat. If you want his cool hunter hat,
Can I have his
you can
hat?
take his cool. Yeah, you now have a
Cool hunter hat.
I want to wear a
Yeah.
cool hat.
Yeah.
Can I have his
you-
mustache?
You can, but like,
Oh God, we scalping his face right now.
What about his tie?
I'm not
I would
here to
like
stop
a bow
you.
tie.
he has a bolo tie.
Oh, yeah, I'll take his bolo. Oh, no,
Hey.
you. Oh.
Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now.
If you have a slashing weapon, you may cut off his face.
No.
Take his mustache.
No, I just want to shave the mustache off, and so I can glue it on at a later time.
Okay, all right. That's fine. You
my
take your time and you shave this dead man. You can shave any part of him you feel the need, and you do his face, I guess. And
Don't tempt me with a good time.
yeah, so now that you have shaved his face, he no longer looks like who he was. You notice that without the mustache, he looks entirely different. Who is this guy? Was this Ronald McDonald? You're not sure, but a little makeup maybe. And yeah, you are able to now, with your loot. And you know what? He's also got a little bit of money. He's got a small credit ruby on him that is worth 50 gold pieces.
Right.
So you can exchange it anywhere, and anywhere you take it and you offer it to them, they will accept it, and its value will decrease by as much as you need to spend until it loses all of its luster and it just becomes a rock.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, so it's a credit ruby.
I chuck it to Brecken because she's collecting all of ours.
And then before
Meow.
Oh no.
Oh boy, a-hole Ronald McDonald. It's McNugget making time. Thank you, Arsenal.
Oh no.
so with that, what did you say?
It's worth 50 gold.
50 gold.
And also, we've unlocked the blimp eel.
Oh, it's a good thing you're going back up to the canopy then.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, as you make your way back up to the canopy, we're going to start with
one more thing before I
yeah, yes.
leave.
Over his body, I want to shake off some of his herbs and spices so that other things will come and eat it. So
All
nobody
right.
has evidence
Wow.
of what
The
we've
circle
done.
of life.
guys are terrible.
I hope
love it.
Termit comes back out of
you-
the mist. Just to
He
start
is a
gnawing on his
genocidal maniac. He kills our kind and eats them.
That's fair. That's fair. But it's delicious when he does. Yeah, and
Can I kind of do like a little bit of a charring of him after the spices?
how do you want to do
Smell?
this? What are you going to use for this? Just you're setting a little fire.
You got firebolts.
Yeah, you can sit there and just keep firebolting him, like you work down his body.
Firebolt,
Because the firebolt is
firebolt.
only like a small, like so you like get the face and then a little further down and down and down.
perfect grill marks all
Just
the
a
way
little bit
across.
of char.
Yeah. You char him. He smells great. And yeah. You have cooked this man and roasted him in his own spice, and it's
only
an old
fitting.
spice, but it's a good spice.
Ah.
Yeah, you're now free to return to the skies, where you hope it is safe.
Yes.
I fly back up.
Off we go.
That was ominous.
As we fly up, can I kind of do a little perception?
Yes, you may make a perception check.
Where's my perception?
What's a little further down? There it is. Down on the longer one.
Oh, 10.
All right, with a 10, you are entirely unaware that you should be wearing a grimace.
Anybody else want to look around?
I'll take a little peek.
Nope.
See?
Bring it on,
I got
Sky
a
God.
16.
A 16. All right, with a 16, I have to actually roll back and find out if whatever it is nothing. There's nothing there.
I thought I saw something.
It's fine.
But-
It's
That's okay.
fine.
We're fine. Let's go home.
Yeah,
Everything's great.
as you head your way back up to the canopy, you got to kind of corkscrew your way around the tree to get back up there because flying straight
Do a
up
barrel
is
roll.
awful. But yeah, you manage to make your way back up to the nest, and when you get there, you find upon your nest the specific one that the four of you, tend to spend your time at.
We're flatmates.
Yeah. Why not?
Messmates.
I mean,
Messmates.
you gotta have a base, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so the place that you most often hang out, you find a note pinned to the outside, to the bark. It's pinned with a small golden pin.
It's an eviction notice.
Shit.
God damn it.
Did
Who
you
forgot
not
to
pay
pay
our
rent?
I read it.
What does it say?
I don't know.
You all speak common, I'm assuming, and so when you open it, it says, "Most honorable Jaybirds, tales of your exploits have reached me even in the Rel's Sea. Your unique capabilities make you the perfect candidates for a heist I'm currently planning, and I would request you to come meet me at the township of Nippleton Docks. There's a great reward to be had, and as the operation could not go on without you, the lion's share of the bounty will be yours to do with as you please. There's but one item I require for myself. Seek out the Night Cutter at Dock C in Lippleton Docks as the sun sets in 2 days' time. Tell no one of your purpose. Simply show this pin at the ship for safe entry."
We got one. And
So yes, you have yourself a job.
And then sorry
And-
about the bug eye comment.
Yeah. You can find Nippleton Docks and make a history check. Whoever gets the highest knows how to get there. And
I've got a
we'll
plus
figure it
4.
out.
How
does
about
it
you
look
guys?
like halfway to San Diego?
No, San Diego doesn't exist.
Oh, that's a good point.
Kidding me?
That's a good point.
17?
I got a 5.
7.
All right, I heard 17. 17, yeah. You're aware that north of you is the Rel's Sea. And so if you were to follow the coastline of the Rel's Sea to the west, eventually you will get to Nippleton Docks. You haven't been there before because it's not the sort of place that Aarakocras tend to go. It's part of the Pinion Dominion. It's full of people. And possibly fast food chains.
No.
And
I
so
hate
so
fast
you
food.
be careful. It's hasted food. Means it gets an extra action. But yeah, you are aware of this place, and if you want, you can kind of like go up a little bit higher in the trees to kind of take a look and see if you can find like identify the path you want to take and tell your friends about what your plan is.
Sure. Yes. I think I know where this is. I'm gonna go spot out a route for tomorrow. If unless it's late now. Like we shouldn't go tonight, right? We know better than to leave tonight.
I don't know better than anything.
Well, you're not sure exactly when this came in. So if this message came in while you were out doing stuff, you may have used up much of one of your days of travel to get there.
We gotta
you
go
may
now.
be due there at this time tomorrow night.
So let's I'll go up really quick and see if I can spot the quickest route.
For all the people who are curious about what this town is called, it is Nippleton. Lippleton. I'm
Lippleton.
sorry. Lippleton. Lippleton.
Okay.
Yes. Nippleton is a different place.
I heard Nibbletown.
Nibbletown's a totally different place.
That's the brothel inside Lippleton.
Yeah. Nibbletown would definitely be where you'd run into Ronald McDonald. But no, this is a Lippleton. If I spoke otherwise, it was a mistake.
Freudian slip.
Yep, Lippleton. Lippleton Docks. What do you want to do to prepare your way?
I just want to, we can fly there, so I just want to make sure I get a good bearing on where to go and if there's anything along the way to avoid.
Yeah, with your history check, you've got an idea that it's there. The one thing that you would know with that history check is that you would be leaving the area that has such high trees. And that is where you find safety, is in the canopy, high above things. That's not going to be an option as you travel. And so you may want to prepare yourself for camping on the ground.
Okay.
But as you do that, it's a full moon tonight.
I'll be on the ground.
And it's lovely light that's coming down from the sky. It's lighting up everything for you. It's kind of setting a nice mood. Until it's not. And the moon just seems to not be shining.
Like the moon doesn't seem to be shining. Like there's something blocking it.
That could be.
Do I see anything blocking the moon?
No, because there's no more light.
I shoot at
But
the
you
shadow
definitely
of
know
the
where you
moon.
see the moon.
Boing.
You could do dancing lights if you
Or
like.
is that going
I
to
have
direct
light.
them to us?
Oh, that might. Bear with me here.
All right.
I know where the moon was.
Yes.
I'm going to take my crossbow and I'm going to cast light on one of the arrows
Oh, good.
and I'm going to shoot the bolt
All right.
towards the moon. That's all.
Okay. Perfect. Roll me an attack roll just so that
Sure.
we know how well you do this.
Good idea.
17.
17. All right. So this bolt of light is flying up, and it does eventually hit something. It doesn't manage to damage it, but it clunks into the side of something, and you see it floating there, and it's illuminating.
Oh shit.
What seems like just a whole plane of something that is floating over top and blocking view of the entire moon. It looks to be what's the range on your crossbow? Probably at least you could get 100 feet, right?
100
Yeah.
feet, yeah.
Yeah, it
400
looks to
is
be
the long range.
All right, yeah, it looks to be probably 150 feet up, and still big enough that it blocks the entire moon. And it's moving. It's undulating. It's twisting. And as you watch it, it moves away from the moon. And now that the light of the moon can shine on it, you see what looks like an eel. It must be hundreds of feet long, but blown up like a blimp. This is a blimp eel.
Oh god. What the fuck are we doing?
Should we ride it?
You just fucked with a blimp eel is what you
We
did
should pop
because you shot it.
I didn't mean to shoot it. I was trying to illuminate
And
it.
as you see, it turns, and if you've ever seen a moray eel, think about that, but hundreds of feet long. It turns and looks at you, and its eyes ablaze, light of the moon shining off of it. Its jaw extends and comes back in, and it seems that it may have passed by otherwise, but someone pestered it.
I didn't think I was going to reach that high.
There's a light on its side as it starts twirling and spinning around, and it comes crashing down towards you. You can all make dex saves.
What did you do?
Hope we have renter's insurance.
Dex save. Ooh,
We're evicted. It's not a problem anymore.
22.
All right, 22. Yeah, you can fly away. You float off the side. 12, not so much.
22 as well.
22, you're also right. Did I hear a 10?
Yeah.
I am terribly sorry. I have bad news for both of
us
you.
too. No.
Yep.
This is your fault.
I'm sorry. I was trying to see.
I'm not very
All right, that's
strong.
going to be 16 damage.
Jeez.
Because
I'm
you
at
are
already
grazed by
-1
it
too, so I'm at.
as it crashes
I
through
was at
the
16.
jay's nest.
Oh,
No, our nest!
It is destroyed.
Yeah.
It has passed through your entire
You
home,
passed
not
out.
just yours of the
oops.
4 of you, but it has crashed into the home that your entire people live in. And it has burst a hole through it that looks like it's probably 40 feet wide. What do you want to do?
and Anirin is down.
Oh,
So I'm going to I'll cast Cure Wounds first up.
And I'm severely hurting.
I'm gonna go pop it with
In
a
that
pickaxe.
case, I will do Mass Healing Word instead.
Now you succeeded.
He flew away.
Yeah.
I see.
The 2 of you are falling
Yeah.
because it has crashed through this. You are on your way down.
Well,
You're
they
gonna
can
have to
fly, right?
down. Not if she's
No,
at
she's
0 hit
unconscious.
points.
Oh, I will. Then I'll go down and catch her before. Well,
You're gonna have to make an acrobatics check.
how far down is she right now? Currently,
You fall at something like 300 feet around, so like it's a ways. You're gonna have to. You can make an acrobatics check to try to dive after.
is she within? She's not within 60 feet of me.
No.
Oh crap! Then yeah, I will dive down. Acrobatics check.
Acrobatics
Yep.
high.
Oh, not bad. 19.
All right, with a 19, yeah, you can just catch up enough that you're within 60 feet.
Cool. And then in that case, I can't do Mass Healing Word because everybody else is away from me. So let's just do Healing Word then. I'll do Healing Word at 2nd level, and give you 2d4 plus 3. Not the best. 6. So you heal up to 6.
Okay.
If you
All
go
right.
to the
You
But
are
my thing's not
conscious
working.
again, but you are still plummeting to the ground. You can make a quick dexterity save
Okay.
to flail your wings out just in time.
saving throw.
11. Oh,
The dex here. Yeah, this is the same thing.
11.
11. All right, you are going to hit the ground, and it's going to knock you unconscious again, but that's not dead. Which
And
is
I'll
much better
be there
than
to
the
help you.
alternative.
Okay.
So like you're awake
you.
for just a moment. You flail a little bit. It slows you down enough that you are going to take enough damage that it knocks you unconscious again. But you're going to be lying on the ground, and if you continue to follow down, you can heal again.
Yeah, I'll do a Cure Wounds when they get to her.
All right.
It's my fault anyway. A little bit better. 7.
All right, cool. Yeah, you're awake
you're at
again, but you're lying on the ground looking up, and you see that this blimp eel has, after it has crashed through the first time, it has turned around and it is crashing through again. It doesn't know that it was you specifically. It just knows that it was this nest, and it starts going at it. And you're seeing your people need to flee. They're flying away, trying to escape this blimp eel that you have triggered into attacking your home.
I see the people in terror, and I'm just like, oh, my trading cards.
Oh no!
That's right. So as
My
you're
boy's my
watching,
dragon.
as you're watching, you have 2 options. One, you can try to fight this thing.
Yeah.
If you'd like, you can make an insight check. The DC is 2 to know not to. You may choose to fail, or you can try to hide it out and hope that it doesn't come looking for you.
I'm just gonna slowly crawl into a bush.
My intelligence. What's my
I'm hiding.
I'm gonna whistle at the rest of the other 2 who are not down here with us, and like get their attention to come down here.
Is that a whistle of encouragement?
No, I'm gonna cast I cast message. Get the fuck down here.
All right. I'm say I fly down.
All right.
I don't have enough healing spells for this.
I'm going down on like a broken wing.
Yeah. All right. So as you get down there, you can find a place to hide from it. It doesn't go that close to the ground. It spends its time above the canopy. If you want, you can make a nature check.
Sure.
All of you can attempt it
Nature check.
to know about blimp eels.
That's
14.
12.
All right. With a
14 as well.
Doing great.
Not one.
nat one, you think. But fish don't go in the sky. That's all. That's your full knowledge
I'm a
of
little
blimp eels.
woozy right
yeah,
now.
you've had a time.
Yeah.
You've had a time.
Claudia, thank you for the follow.
Yeah. woo. But yeah, with a 14, that's enough that you remember that you've been told tales of these, that they are a danger that your people are aware of, that sometimes they fly because they are blimpials. They float on the sky. They don't actually need to fly themselves the way you do, which means they never need to land. And they stay above the canopy, which makes the canopy is a pretty safe place as long as you stay in it. But going above it becomes very dangerous because suddenly you don't have any cover. And if a blimpial sees you, well, they like to eat you because you are small enough to just gobble up in a single bite. And you're aware that they're also filled with some sort of, possibly, a gas that keeps them afloat. You don't know exactly what kind of gas it is or exactly what it does, but you know that it seems to keep them afloat. And it's not magical. That if people cast a dispel magic, it won't suddenly fall. But
So I shot the Hindenburg, is what I just.
you may have. And it is eating your home.
Great.
Imagine it's so bad.
Which is a pretty good encouragement that you may need to go on this mission.
Yes.
You may not be able to enjoy the spoils of your war, but you may owe them
That's fair.
to your people. Which will make you a hero if you come back successfully.
Yes, because they have no idea that I was the one that.
That's right. And so at this time, if you want to, you can take a quick short rest before you try to run away.
Yes, let's.
All right, yeah, go ahead and do that. Take all your short rest stuff. Roll your hit dice that you get from it. Anything that restores on a short rest, feel free to do. I don't know your characters well enough to tell you what to do, but you should.
Tell me what to do.
So, oh, you can't because you can't affect it.
She's on read only right now.
Yeah.
We'll fix that next week.
Thank you.
So basically, you have hit points.
Okay.
You have hit die. For a sorcerer, I believe it's a D6, right? I don't know.
I'm just gonna go with that.
Yes.
Yeah,
So you can roll how you have as many as your levels. You have 5.
Okay.
So you can roll one at a time and figure out and like heal as much as you need to. So you're at 7 right now. So you need 10 to get to full.
Okay.
So if you roll like 2 and you add your Constitution, which is -1. So
Sweet.
yeah. So you
So I
that's
roll
like,
this 5 times.
You have to roll. You can roll 2 or 3 at a time at first,
okay.
and so let's see how much you get.
Oh. Cool. 10 minus 1. 9.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So now, while you're taking your rest, you're back down on the ground. You can make perception checks real quick.
Oh boy. Okay.
Nope,
Get,
natural 1.
Hey, me too.
We're doing great, guys.
Got a 5.
We're traumatized.
All right.
If I had known it was a blimpial.
17.
17. You notice what seems to be a small red bush or tuft, and you look closer at it. No, it seems to be hair, red hair that is moving and leaning over Colonel Sanders.
Oh shit.
Oh, good. Eat him. Eat him.
Back?
As you look closer, a pale-faced man reaches down, and he touches Colonel Sanders, and he looks up, saddened. His brother has fallen. And he and he takes a couple of deep breaths, and a wide red frown spreads across his face. And he shivers. And he hasn't spotted you yet, but with a 17, you hear him say, "I will avenge you, brother." And he looks up at the sky, and then he looks down, and he makes a couple survival checks.
Uh-oh.
And you can overhear him.
No. Charlie Necker says he's
before-
pissed.
And he looks at it and he goes,
He's big pissed. I'm gonna cast.
he's been pecked to death.
I'm gonna cast disguise self again and look like a human again.
All right.
While he's doing that.
Why'd you pick him? I don't know.
As Quadroke says, he's not loving it.
He's no.
And he looks down and he does a little investigation. He like turns the body over and he notices the char marks and he says, "Amateurs. That's not how you broil a man. I'll show you how you broil a man." And as he looks, he notices that someone pecked this thing. And by looking at the peck marks, he can identify, and he looks at it and he says, what? It's a pelican. No, a rooster. No. And then he picks up a single purple feather.
I didn't peck jack shit.
That's true. I
But
didn't
you
even
were
touch
there
him.
and fought him.
Damn.
And then he looks and he picks up a single black feather. And he looks at them both. And he puts them into his pocket. And then he wears a grimace on his face.
No.
And he says, Hamburglers. I'm gonna get you yet. And then he kneels and he does a prayer at the feet of his friend. He starts to bury him because yes.
While he's kneeling and burying and busy, I would like to fly over him like a magic hoopa and start sprinkling herbs and spices over him while wielding my tenderizer.
I'm gonna point out this is happening during your short rest.
Fuck.
Oh,
So if you get into it with him,
It's all good. I didn't lose any hit
all
points.
right, good. If you're leaving them to take
Yeah.
care of themselves, and you're flying off apart, y'all are
And then
chilling
in a sudden
because you're
McFlurry.
tired. You've been beaten up by a blimpial, and we have now sent Solo. Solo, we have Atira flying over. You can break open those herbs and spices,
Fabulous.
and they will fall down upon him.
Yes.
And as he's doing this prayer, like he inhales, and he looks up.
As he looks up, I bring the tenderizer down on his face.
If you'd like, you can make an insight check to know that he is meant for 4 people to fight.
oh.
I'm an idiot.
All right.
If I see him going over, I'll drop my short rest and I'll walk over as a human, not like making myself known yet, but like being in the area. If I notice that he's getting ready to fight.
All right. You can make that attack. You can make it at advantage.
Sweet. All right, 1, a 2. Let's see, advantage.
3.
All right, so with advantage, it's a 16 to hit.
That's
We
not
don't have
going to
any
hit him.
owls.
No shit. But I get 2 attacks, so I'm gonna do it again.
All right.
Does the second one also get advantage?
Yes.
Alrighty. Fuck. And, fuck.
Don't do that to
That's
him.
a 12. I'm gonna action surge, and I'm gonna attack him one more time.
I just see Atira.
15!
Damn!
Tiny fucking
That's not going to
meat
do
hammer!
you come down and he stops you with one gloved hand and like pushes it aside and blocks you with his arm. And he looks you dead in the eye. And he looks at the weapon you are using. And he
Hello?
looks down to his friend.
Uh-huh.
And he looks back at you.
Oh, dear.
And he's going to roll initiative.
So we wanted to TPK this first session, right?
God damn it, Atira.
You can help us.
That's true.
Get rerolls and blessings.
Go ahead and roll me initiative. The people who are dealing with it. You
Yeah.
I'll be
two
there.
you can try to
All
diplomatically.
right. That's a 19 for me.
Oh,
All right.
I have a 22.
Okay. All right. You're gonna go first then. We're gonna start with Klurik because he rolled a 5.
I'm going to I'm going to jump out of the bushes with the heavy crossbow. I'm going to pull out my short sword.
What do you do with that heavy crossbow? You can't
I
hide.
leave it. I left it behind.
Okay.
I left it
All
behind.
right.
At least on the ground. When I knew I was going to be jumping out, I left it behind, knowing
Okay.
what's happening.
All right, I'll buy it.
I'll take the short sword and I'm going to jump out and aim the short sword at Atira. And I'm going to say, "Don't worry, I've got this one."
All right. Make a persuasion check.
Oh God. Actually, not that bad. 14.
All right. Let's have him roll against that. We'll see what he takes a moment and he looks at you and he says, "We will kill him together."
Not so fast. I have my own bone to pick with this one. I want to bring him back to run experiments. I must make the best recipe possible.
I'm a pelican.
You ever heard of seafood, bitch?
You may make an intimidate check.
Yes.
against Atira, who is unaware that you are you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
13. 13. And I just want to like wink at him when I'm looking at him.
Atira, you may make an insight check to not be intimidated, or you can choose to be intimidated because you are now surrounded by a Ronald McDonald who seems to have a high AC.
I got a nat 1.
Oh yeah.
Oh, great. He wants to kill me. He wants to kill me and he wants to fuck me. I say after he winks at me. Great. Fantastic.
We'll see.
All right. It is now Atira's turn. What do you want to do now that you have 2 humans who have surrounded you?
Yeah.
But you can fly.
I am. I'm still gonna go after Ronald. I'm still embarrassed that I didn't hit him at all the last time. So
3
I'm
hits.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get two hits, but I am going to use my fighting spirit. So as a bonus action, I give myself advantage on weapon attack rolls until the end of my current turn.
And,
blessing.
and
blessing to
everybody's
everyone.
just gotten a blessing,
Ooh, thank
which
you
is
for blessing.
probably very handy for fighting
D6,
Ronald
right?
McDonald.
That will be very handy. All right, so I am still using the tenderizer.
These
So
go.
this is with advantage because I got advantage. So this is that 20, baby.
All right, go ahead and roll that damage.
Do. That's 9 damage.
All right, yeah, he
And then-
takes that 9 damage. You hit him across the face, and he just turns, and then he slowly turns his head back.
Oh dear. Second attack is 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
I hit him again for 4 damage.
You hit him again in the same spot. He doesn't turn his head this time, but he does take damage. And you see him just go.
I regret this weapon.
All right, and it is now Ron's turn.
Oh shit.
And he's going to look at you. He's going to look at Atira, ready to defeat you because you killed his friend.
Oh, for sure.
And he's going to look at Klurik, and he's going to say, "You may fight at my side." And then he's going to beat the shit out of Atira.
Yep.
with 2 attacks of his own. See, that's a 14 and a natural 1. The 14 is modified, so that's going to be a 17.
That'll hit. Yep.
All right, he's going to hit you, and he's going to do. Oops, he does 9 damage to you.
Ouch.
And after he does that, he's going to take a bonus action to take the disengage action. You determine that Ronald McDonald is a rogue.
Oh, good.
And as he backs away from you, he's going to run around behind you and find himself in a slightly better position where he's up a little bit higher, looking down at you, leaving you engaged with this other person, so that he assumes if you try to get away, you will attack him. It is now Clue's turn.
Okay. I'm going to. Okay. What do I want to do? He ran away and that changed the things a little bit. Okay. I want to.
Whimsical girl. Thanks for the follow.
I'm gonna go bring, get like really close to Atira as if I'm going to attack him.
All right.
And I'll just whisper to him, "It's me, Clue."
Oh shit. Okay, cool.
And then I want to cast slow at, what's his face, Ronald.
All right.
So I want, or no. Never mind. I'm going to say I'm going to say I'm going to take him and just grab Atira now that he knows it's me and hold it, be like, "My friend, it is a pleasure to fight with you, but this one's mine," and I want to run away.
All right. Yeah, you can run away carrying him as long as Atira is not resisting.
No, I'm not resisting. Yeah,
Cool.
he tipped me off, so I was like, "Oh no, help, shit! Oh, thank you so much, Jesus."
Okay. All right. So you
And
start running off.
I want to weave through the trees in a way that it's hard for him to see where we went normally. You know?
Okay. You're gonna be limited to 30 feet of movement, or your regular movement.
It's actually
is it
25.
25? Okay.
But because I
then you're
didn't,
limited to 25.
can I take my action to run also to double that?
It's gonna take your action to grapple
all
him
that?
and
Got
have
it.
him do it without
That makes sense.
All the shebang that you're
That
doing.
I just
the show
did. Yeah,
is an
that's
action.
true.
So yeah, you're just gonna be able to get that 25 feet.
Sure.
I'm not sure how fast Rogue Ronald McDonald can go. But yeah, so it is now Atira's turn. You're probably about 40 feet away from him because Ronald moved around and got himself into a better position.
Right. So I'm gonna use my wings. I'm gonna pretend like I'm thrashing, but I'm definitely beating my wings to help Clue's path. I was like,
Okay.
I'm just sensing where he's going. We flocked together before. I know his tells. So I'm just like, yep, we're going this way. Flap, flap.
All right,
No,
all right, yeah.
help! Don't kill me.
Yeah, if you want to, you can use your movement to help carry and
Sure.
move with him.
Yeah.
So we're like, you.
Yeah, so you can get another, if you take the dash action, you can get another 50 feet of movement since he's with you and helping and not resisting.
Sweet.
And yeah, you get a bit of distance, and Ronald McDonald looks out and watches because it's now his turn. And he looks angry. And you don't see him anymore because it's dark. You just see his eyes glowing, and then out. You're not sure where he is.
I'm gonna
Trust the clown
say.
you can't see.
I'm gonna say. Fly up, fly up, fly up. It's like as if he's like lifting up, and I'm just gonna go
So you're gonna draw attention to yourself.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, well, but like flying up, like as far up as we can.
Where
All
the
right.
blimp eels are.
Well, we're not that close to the blimpial now, are we?
I like this game where you're trapped between a blimp eel and a Ronald McDonald. Because that's exactly what I expected on. I'm so glad I prepared things for this session. But yeah, you are able to with the help of the two of you. If you are trying to just make your escape now,
Yeah.
both of you can fly.
Yes.
And so far as you're aware, Ronald McDonald cannot. So
Yeah.
far as you are aware.
I just keep treading air.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you both fly away. You do not see his eyes return.
Okay.
You think you may have escaped him now that you have gone airborne?
Question.
yeah.
By the time we get back, would they have finished their short rest?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
So yeah, you get back. The short rest is over, and you can decide exactly what you want to do. You want to start heading out. You
I learned
you know
something
that there's
today.
A hunter out there.
Do not fuck with clowns.
Yes. I could have told you
Yes.
that one. So I say let's make our way out, but let's go a little bit of an arc around so that we're not seen so much.
Scenic route. I got
Get
you.
the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Yeah, this way.
Yes.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
all right. Yeah, you're able to GTFO, and nobody knows that you're responsible for the destruction of your home, and there's chaos because they're trying to avoid the eel as well, and like all that, and pieces of your home are falling down, and your favorite schoolyard has just crashed on the ground in front of you, destroyed. You know, anything that you loved, it's now destroyed. But that's all right. You know, like it was made out of sticks, and.
Terrible crap.
You're not like masons, like you're birds, you know.
That's
Like
true.
you can only have so much stuff on the canopy of a tree, and yeah, you start making your way. I assume out towards Littleton Docks.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Then yeah, you make your way. You think that you have evaded Ronald McDonald.
We're gonna fly like. How high is the canopy?
Where you are, the canopy is still very high because these are still skyscrapers.
Like over 100?
Oh yeah.
Then we're gonna fly 75 feet
Yeah.
above the ground.
All right, through the mid-story. Yeah, you are able to do that, and you can start making your way. And as you do, you will eventually find your way. It's going to take a couple hours of travel, and you're traveling into the night, so you're going to be kind of tired in the morning, and you can expect a level of exhaustion. Which now I'm going to have to look up what a level of exhaustion does because I don't know.
I think it's similar to poison.
Yeah, it's different for each level because there are 5 levels of exhaustion, and the
I can
5th
tell
one
you
is
right
death. But fortunately, you will only have one level of exhaustion as you travel, and you can start making your way into the places where these trees are a little bit lower, a little bit safer, safer from blimp eels, more susceptible to the attacks of clowns.
Marquis F. Thank you for the follow.
One first level is disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay,
Sweet.
yeah. So that's where you will be for the next day. But fortunately, you're not expecting to get into too much trouble, you know, unless people start
What
making
could happen?
trouble for you, and you decide to get in trouble with them instead of just being like, "Hello, friend." Yeah, since your answer is usually "Let's hit it with a mallet."
Suck saute it first.
Yes.
But yeah, you are able to start traveling. And so tell me a little bit about what you do. What you got some time to yourselves to talk about what you've done. What
What
you're
have we
planning to do.
done?
What
Yeah.
have we learned?
Yeah, and,
What
and of
haven't
course,
we done?
and-
Frogs, poison. Clowns, fuckers.
Yeah,
Men with
and this message
mustaches,
you've received.
assholes. This is what I've learned.
So we have now
Assholes with cool hats.
yes
Very cool.
we have angered the consortium of fast food vendors, as well as a giant fucking floating eel. Sorry.
I just
What?
realized I sprinkled my spices on that guy, so people are gonna get advantage on him for at least a day. So if he catches
For the
up with
day.
us, fuck him.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
We can smell him
We'll see.
coming. Smell him human, you might say.
smell of
Ah.
taste of human. So we're gonna have to deal with that eventually. I think yes.
Yeah.
But for now, Lilo and
Lay-low?
Laylo,
Fly low.
fly
Fly
low,
high.
Fly high, lie low.
fly high,
Fly low.
and the green grass grows all around.
The bog in the frog.
All right, so as you're traveling through the night, trying to keep a low profile, eventually you can make a perception check for me.
Perception. 12.
Ooh,
21.
21.
20.
12 also.
You hear something at a 21. It sounds like a little violin,
Oh, how quaint.
just playing some music.
It
It seems to be ahead of you, but you're not sure exactly the source.
There might be another bard ahead.
Ooh, friend.
Oh God!
We
once
keep
a-
going, I guess.
Are they
We're flying,
native?
right?
Yeah, you can fly, not super high, but like
Yeah. Are we in town now? Is that where?
not yet.
Oh,
Not yet.
okay,
You're
okay,
you're still along the way.
Yeah.
But yes, you're hearing this tiny violin.
Now, is it an actually tiny violin, or is it just sounds like?
You haven't seen it.
Okay.
But it doesn't sound like a huge violin. Yet.
That's fair. Okay.
It's not a cello.
It's very high pitched.
Can I take out my flute while we're flying and play the same melody back to it?
Do it.
Sure.
It's
Yeah,
a
you
mating
can
call.
make a check to attempt to.
It's a bard mating call.
A performance check? Not great. 14.
14. Yeah. You can do that, and it keeps making sounds. And as you start to make sounds, you hear two more violins. There seems to be a small concerto that seems to be striking up around you.
Like around, or in the same direction?
Still forward, but over there, over there, and over there.
Shh. Stop playing.
Just
You're making it
I
worse.
thought it was gonna be like Deliverance.
You're always making it worse.
That's a bad thing.
What?
I start humming.
All right. You can also make a performance check.
13.
All right. There is now a fourth.
I want to
that has
add.
joined.
I want to add percussion. I want to take the
Oh God.
the mace and my war pick.
All right.
Clang,
roll-
clang,
roll-
clang, clang.
Guys,
All right. Roll performance.
Wait, do we still-
Disadvantage for just clanging.
do we have exhaustion already? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Okay.
Oops. That's is it disadvantage?
Skill checks. Yeah.
All right. Oh yes.
Oh,
16. 16.
16. All right. Yours is a little bit nicer, but it's clanging.
Yeah. Dang, dang.
And that doesn't seem to jive with whatever is making this sound, and it is
I
now
play too. Ding,
it is
ding,
now a
ding.
quintet. And the sound, they hear that too. And they stop for just a second, and then they come back playing Vivaldi.
Oh God.
At this point, one of you can make a nature check to remember something.
Who wants to take it?
+2.
17.
17. All right. You've heard tales of there being violin music in some places near the coast. That seems to emanate from the grass and the ground. And it takes you a second, but you remember the term that somebody warned you about, something called a viola winder. These are snakes that instead of having rattles, have an extra long tail that they pull back and forth across their body, creating the sound of a violin. God help you if you ever find a cello winder. But at the moment, they seem to just be the regular garden variety viola winders.
The cello winders. But we're still flying, right?
Yes, but you are aware that they have some reach.
Singing with the snakes.
Are we not 75
Clang,
feet in the
clang,
air
clang,
still?
clang, clang, clang.
With a 17, you're still approaching them. You know that stringed instruments soothe them.
Clang, 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 clang.
Atira!
What?
Silence!
I fly into him.
I'll take out my lute then, and I'll start playing. I'll play Claire de Lune.
All right. Go ahead and make a check with your lute.
16.
A 16? Oh, that's good enough. That they seem to join in with the song, and that you with them have now a sextet, and they seem a little bit more chill. You think that you may be able to fly past them without worry. You haven't actually spotted them. You've only heard them.
Okay.
What's going on? Why'd you tell me to shut up?
There are certain. I'm still playing. There are certain creatures who enjoy music as much as they do biting our faces off. So we are going to avoid them when we hear violins. Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Cool.
Yes.
Are you sure? Because what I've heard from you is that violins is the answer. I'm not sorry about that.
That one.
But yes, you are able to make it past the viola winders, and they follow you a little bit because you're making the sounds that they like. But you can lead them away a little bit, and when you stop, you think it's going to be okay. You wait for everybody else to get past, and yeah, you're able to, as the sun starts to rise, you do find your way towards Lippleton Docks. As you approach it, this is a human town. It is dominated by the Pinion Dominion. It is the outer reaches of the Pinion Dominion, because they don't want to venture into the forests where you are. They don't have political sway there, as it were. But this is firmly part of their world. And as you get closer, you do consider: how do you want to approach this town? What do you want to do to safely approach this town and find Dock C? You don't need to be there until sundown.
Until sundown?
Yep. Sundown is when you're supposed to meet with that golden pin and bring it to the Night Cutter.
Okay. Do we have time for a long rest? Yes. It'll throw off our sleep pattern, but hey.
If you want to try to just take a long rest, you can. Do you want to do it outside? Do you want to try to get to Lippleton and find a place?
Let's I will, when I get close enough that I think somebody might see us, I'll cast Disguise Self again and make myself seem like my human man again.
Okay.
It's fantastic for you.
Yeah.
I'm working. I have a plan.
Can we
You
be
are
your
going to be
pet
my.
birds?
I was going to say you are my my exotic assistants, and we.
Wow, that's highly inappropriate. Never mind. Please continue. Please continue.
Listen, nobody asked what I do with my assistants. So we are a wildlife research group, and you help me get where I need to go, and etc. Yes.
So we're like your guides.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
You're
You
not
are in my
riding us.
employ.
Can I sit on your shoulder?
You paying me?
We're the same size.
I feel like
You're
you're a
the
little
same
big for that.
size
Yes.
as he
You're still
is.
humanoid-ish. You could fly nearby my shoulder.
Are we near like any docks or anything like that? Are we close to the water? Is this
The town is, but we're not to the town.
we're
yet.
not at the town.
Yeah, you're on your way there. When you get there will be docks.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I'll do that, and then as we approach, I'll lead the way. Once we get to the ground, and we'll walk the rest of the way.
All right, great. Yeah, as you approach Lippleton Docks, you're approaching from the east, and the first thing that you see is a little stable. The Johnstone stables. They have some horses there. They seem like pretty normal folk. But they're not paying attention to you yet because they're paying attention to their horses. As you continue in further into town, You do see a dock to the north, just a small one, but there's no ships at it. Next to that, there's another dock, but this one has a large ship at it. Beyond that, you see there's a statue. A huge statue that's probably 30, 40 feet tall, rendered in stone, and it looks like an angel. It has wings, not terribly unlike yours, but she holds a staff, and it seems to be a woman, and it seems to be something almost, as you look at it, there's a flame motif to it, as though she is on fire, but not in pain. And you see a couple other buildings as you approach. There seems to be one that you can read. There's some signs on them. This is the dockmaster's house. And a little further in, you see an inn called the Terse Clam.
The Terse Clam. Say let's get a room for the day, yes?
Sure.
Yes, place to stay?
Yeah.
All right.
Got it.
Let's go. We'll walk to the inn.
I want to peek into the water for fish
Oh, yeah.
while you're walking into the inn. I want to try and scoop us up some dinner.
We'll do a quick stop by the beach for his sake, because I don't want to leave him alone.
That's fair. All right. Make me a survival check.
Alrighty. 11.
An 11. You find some minnows, but not enough that you're not gonna have a meal out of them.
Yeah, I scoop them all up. I look at everybody and just... Nothing.
It's not filling, and they wiggle, but you have done that.
It's a good snack. A light snack.
To get to the inn, you do end up walking past that big statue, and if you want, there are inscriptions on it that you can go read.
Sure.
Ooh.
As you go up, it labels itself as the Purifier, and there seem to be prayers that are written on each of the four sides that refer to rebirth. They refer to things as fire. If you want, you can make a quick history check.
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Go for it.
I got a 12.
All right, I'm going to see what
17.
everybody's got. 17. All right. With a 17, you recognize that these are allegories relating to phoenixes. That the Purifier is the god of the Pinion Dominion, of the people of the Pinion Dominion, and that they worship her. Although with the 17, you also know that she hasn't been around for a while. She died at some point. You're not sure exactly when. But you remember way back in history there was a war against the undead, and that she was somehow involved and then no longer around, and that's strange because one of the things about phoenixes is that they tend to come back, especially since you're all bird folk. You're familiar with phoenixes, and so it's a strange thing that the Pinion Dominion is based around this religion of a phoenix that has not returned. But they all seem very, very positive. The messages that are written on it, the prayers, very honoring and thankful and hopeful of a rebirth, but one that is tinged with fire and a little bit of violence. And then you can make your way to the Terse Clam. It is in fact right by Dock C, which is the dock nearest the sea. It's the sea dock, which is why it's Dock C. And yeah, you can head your way into the Terse Clam, where you will find
Potion meant for Cusco.
Yeah, you'll find a couple people in there. Even though it's a little bit early in the day, there's some people kind of getting up. They seem to have spent the night there, having a little bit of breakfast, and having a nice time. You see one man in particular who's a dwarf, but his beard seems to be feathers. All bright orange and red in plumage, and he is having himself a meal, an early drink, but a meal all the same.
I'd like to have some wine.
I'd like to check to see if those are Aarakocra feathers on his clothes.
Tell me how you want to do that.
I am not subtle, so I'm gonna walk up and just stare right, because I'm a pelican head, with the side of my face, just to look at.
All right, yeah, you recognize that these are. It's not on his clothes.
Oh,
These come out of his beard.
It's in his beard.
His
sorry.
beard, instead of hair, he has no hair.
Oh.
He has eyebrows. He has hair. Or, he has something on top, but it's all feather. He's a dwarf he's a featherbeard dwarf. And if you want, you can make a history or religion check as you look at him.
Make a history check. Ooh, 18.
Yeah, you were suddenly struck with, you remember the rest of the story of what happened to the purifier. That she fought the Lich, she fought these undead, and although the Pinion Dominion was successful in repelling the attack, she fell. She bled, and as she bled on the mountains, the rumor is that gave birth to the Featherbeard dwarves. That they rose from the very ground, mixed with her blood, and that is where they've come from.
All right. I remember that just as I'm, inches from his face, breathing into his ear. He's like,
And he looks up at you,
breath.
and you're a pelican, so you don't have nice bright red plumage that he
No.
might have respected.
No.
Instead, he just looks up at you and he says, what do you want?
"Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I was just admiring your feathers and your feather beard, sir."
That's reasonable. And then he stands and he stretches his neck out and just my beard is gorgeous. People all love it. Yes, you can bask in its glory.
I am quite envious. All of my feathers are the same color, and yours are just dazzlingly colorful. So congratulations, sir.
Despite the fact that I, as a person, can tell you didn't mean that, he, as a dwarf, cannot. And and he says, yes, thank you. Who are you, and what are you doing in the Tusk clan?
I'll pop up from behind him and be like, we're researching in nearby, and we decided to find a place to stay for the night.
Yes. Tusk clan's the best place for that.
Are you the owner?
No, I'm just a drunk.
I couldn't tell, sir.
With that, he
kinda-
holds up a big flag of
canter
meat.
over and cheers him with my wine.
Perfect. That's all you needed to make friends with him. And now he likes you. And he's like, have a seat if you want. And show you to the door so you can get yourselves a room.
Yes, please.
Sure, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Fantastic. His voice is just going
I'm sorry, you speak common.
What? Who are you talking about? You don't understand the words coming into my mouth.
Right, you're fine. Just
It's right, I'm fine. I'm glad that you understand the words coming into my mouth.
I'm sorry, are you a Swedish chef?
No, he works it over at Big Crawdaddy's little crabbery.
Of course, we'll have to
Down
stop by
the
and say hi.
They make great crab legs. Love them.
Crab legs, wonderful. Excellent. Well, thank you, sir.
Chicken legs.
Oh God, please. I mean, don't worry. I'm human. So, what brings you to this area? Is this where do you live nearby? Is this your stomping grounds?
I stop in here sometimes because they've got such good clam and nice watery foods. I love the seafoods.
Oh,
Yes.
watery foods.
I love seafood too.
Oh, you and me, we should be friends.
We should be friends.
Yeah. And he goes to cheers you. Do you have a drink? Do you
I cheers him again.
Yeah, he cheers you. He's all about it.
Steals the cheers.
Yeah. And he's fine with that. Somebody cheers him and he gets to drink and he leans back and drinks. And he says, yeah, it's a good place here. Sometimes I travel. I come from the mountains, but the mountains are not safe no more. Stay away from him.
What's up there?
Oh, there's a witch. There's a witch, yeah. She's been taking over the place from the Twisting Wood.
The twisting wood?
The Twisting Wood, yes.
Right.
Yes, it's not that I sound weird. It is called the Twisting Wood. Yes, the Twisting Wood.
What is the Twisting Wood?
There are 3 great forests in here in the Tenth River Basin. And one of them, it's just right here. Have you been to the Stag's Cathedral?
We are doing research nearby there. Yes.
Yes, this is one of them. And then there's the Twisting Wood, but it's dark and it's dangerous and it's been taken over by the Forge.
Does it have a canopy?
By the forge?
Well, yes, it's got a canopy. All trees have canopies.
Of course, we know that. Oh, God.
That's how trees work. I understand your bird brains and don't always understand these things.
The fuck
It's
you
okay.
say?
Please.
I cheers him.
He ignores the
You said something about a forge.
Oh, yes, the Forge. The Forge, they're dangerous. They're huge, dangerous beasts, trolls and giants. They're awful. They kill people, they eat people. They make recipes of them.
Of people.
Of people, yes. I have heard they make halfling burritos.
Did
Good thing we're
someone,
not halflings.
did one of them have a mustache like this?
Goodness, no!
I put it back in my pocket.
Why do you have a man's face in your bag? A mustache? What? You don't even grow hair.
It's all for science. It's don't worry. So you're
I knew a scientist. He was a good man.
what?
I knew a scientist, yes.
Yes, you did.
Yes, Count Glitterbomb.
Count Glitterbomb.
Yes.
I've heard of him.
Oh, he works with Warestone.
That's right. Can you remind me a little bit?
Oh, yes, Warestone. It comes in the deepest, darkest parts of the mountains that surround this here basin.
The mountains you come from.
Oh, no, I come from the mountains near the Twisting Wood, but further
Oh,
out,
I see.
further out, that make the whole basin a basin. Otherwise, it would just be plain.
Oh, I see.
These are the
Makes sense.
Basin Maker Mountains.
The Basin Maker
The
Mountains.
Basin Maker Mountains, and
Okay.
you see, no one's ever made it past the Basin Maker Mountains on account of, well, the Basin Maker Mountains are huge, and above us, some tell me there's a storm that brews, but we cannot see it. If we try to go through it, though, oh no, then it's bad.
But how?
It's the edge of the map. We can't go past it.
Yes, more or less. They're called the Winds. I don't know if you've ever been in them, but they're terrifying. Sometimes the rain falls up in them.
Wow.
Oh, that's free lift. Come on, let's go.
Physics
Yes.
doesn't matter there.
Oh, it's dangerous when you go through. You don't know when you'll come out or when you'll go in.
But,
What if you're already in?
but it's-
That's what makes it so scary. You can't even tell where you've been.
so you're saying we shouldn't go near those mountains?
Oh no, not unless you're ready to deal with the dangers that live and lurk inside of them.
Inside
Inside of them.
Inside, yeah.
Inside of them.
Inside of them.
Lurk. They're lurking dangerous.
I would like to buy this man 3 more drinks.
I love how more confuddling this accent is getting as this time goes by.
Yes.
It's the drinking, I'm sure. Okay. Well, yes. I thank you for the warning. Luckily we're doing business in town, so we don't need to worry about the Basin Maker Mountains or the Forge.
Oh yes, the Forge occupation.
That's
They're
right.
dangerous. The Forge horde. Oh, they've got terrible things. I hear they've got witches to themselves.
They have their own witches.
Oh yes.
Well, that sounds terrible.
Yes. I'd stay clear of them. Any of them witches, they're trouble.
Okay. If we were to come across a witch, what should we do?
Oh, you should get the fuck away.
Solid.
They'd
Very
fucking
good
murder
plan.
you. They'd eat you alive and then cook you into, I guess, well, looking at the both of you, I guess they'd make you into Confrucky Cried Aarakocras.
Confrucky.
Yes! It's a real word that we say in the Featherbeard lands.
Oh, God, of course. I've never been there. I'll have to try. It sounds like they have
Oh,
good
you
food.
shouldn't go. Like I said, it's a dangerous place. Stop trying to go places, you'll die. Don't want you to die, my no drinking friends. I want you to stay here and drink with me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, a couple more drinks, and then you'll introduce us to the owner of the inn. Yes.
Oh, yes, if you want to meet the owner, I will make sure that you can get a room and you
Please.
can stay there for the newt.
And for the night as well, I hope.
No, only for the newt.
Okay.
I hear newts are tasty.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. You can get some of them at Big Crawdaddy's little grabbery.
They serve a newt.
Oh, he's got it all. He's got a menu a mile long.
Sounds like we have dinner plans, friends.
Oh, yes. And he will point you. There's a person there who's ready
Very
to
clearly
take your order. And, like,
they're just standing there like he walked past them because this man had a beard. So he's like, I guess they know him. And he's like, oh yeah, if you see him, tell Count Glitterbomb that he owes me money.
Okay, Count Glitterbomb.
It's right. He's an excellent scientist. It's the only man I know who can work with Whirlstone.
Where will we find him?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, so we run into him.
Money from him already. But if you find him, get my money.
Okay.
And what's your name so we know who
Oh, yes,
who's
that's
paying
right.
that- who's
Oh,
paying
me
that?
name. Me name. I have always known me name. I have my name. I've had it for a long time. My name is Tesserantophilis.
Tesserantophilis?
Yes, Tesserantophilis. Which I knew when you asked me that,
Right, you've had a few.
because I've
haven't you?
always had this name, Tesseraphilis. Tesserantophilis. Yes. Hey.
You seem to have a very fluid name.
I do. I have been called many times by many people by many things.
Can I call you Tessie?
You can, but no one else can. If anyone else does, you birds call me Tessie, I will frown.
All right, Tessa,
I
stop
would never
it.
want you to frown.
Yes, we said
Tesserantophilis?
Tesserantophilis.
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 Yes, there's even a spelling now. Because I have a notepad. Yes, Tesserantophilis.
Wonderful. Just so you know, I do have another assistant who looks another Aarakocra like my assistants. When I am not around, the four of them will do much of my work. So if you see somebody else that's not me, he is part of my group as well. Just letting you know. Yes.
It's great.
Just treat him with the same respect you treat us, and I will be
That
very
would be
happy.
easy.
Great.
I hope he brings me booze too.
Oh, he will.
Good.
So about a room.
Another person who has a voice that doesn't hurt my throat comes out and says, "Oh, hi. Would you like a room?"
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I would love to get you a room.
A few beds would be nice.
All right. Yeah. If you want to get, how many rooms do you want? You can get them. They're going to be 5 gold each.
Shall we double up rooms? I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. 2 rooms. Yeah.
rooms.
For 10 gold, they give you you 2 rooms. They give you little
right.
keys, and they direct you upstairs where you can get to those rooms. And they
We'll
are
use
nice,
our
nice
charge
little rooms.
ruby for that.
Works for me.
Oh yeah. As you hold up the ruby, he looks at it and he nods and he says, "All right, I guess we have to accept that. That's a master ruby." So
Master ruby.
and he reaches out and touches it, and he feels 10 gold richer, and the ruby gets just a little bit cheaper looking.
Feels his skin glistens a little bit.
His shirt's nicer, and he's like, "Great." Yep. That's how a master ruby works. Yeah, and you can get the room, and they are comfortable. You can make enough space for 2 people to sleep in there, and they're nice and quiet. You can get yourself your long rest,
Sweet.
Excellent.
Long rest.
Long rest.
and so you'll no longer
it.
be exhausted, and yeah, great. And so the night comes, and now it is time for you to go out to Docksea.
Doxy.
To the Docksea.
Wonderful.
Right. Is there anything that you want to do to prepare or discuss amongst yourselves before you head out?
I'd say we stay aware. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Where?
Yeah.
Keeping our heads on a swivel. Not a full swivel. We're not owls. But close enough. Yes, I don't know.
I'd like to order a to-go bag of newts from the restaurant.
All right, yeah. If you want to head over to Big Crawdaddy's Little Crabbery,
That's right.
he has a whole bunch of different foods that you can get, and one of them is in fact newts.
Yep.
He has
What
roasted newt.
flavors?
They are axolotl and axolotl. And he roasts.
You asked a lot of
slowly.
questions.
They're delicious. And yeah, they have a little bit of a gummy taste to them.
Fabulous.
And he also has an interesting dish there that you notice. He has anemone sparkled crab legs.
I get those too.
All right, as you do, when you take a look at those, you can do an Arcana check.
Oh shit.
It was about to be.
9.
They are food.
They are food.
Anyone else can make an Arcana check if they would like to.
23.
23.
Oh, you got it.
You recognize that the anemones on this, combined with the way that it is cooked and prepared, have a special effect. That if you eat these for 1 hour, you will have resistance to poison, as well as advantage on saves against poison. And if you would like, you can each get one of these.
Sweet.
And it will stay for up to a week.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
How much do we owe for those?
They will each be 10 gold.
Okay.
Ooh.
We have
Which I believe you should have enough to cover.
Yep.
we have the rest of the ruby.
I have the rest of the ruby. I've
That's
got
right.
40 in there. All right.
Yeah.
Our credits are gone.
Yeah, as you hand it over to Big Crawdaddy, you notice that this is a very large, burly man who seems to have lost one of his arms in you don't know what, which makes it more intimidating. But he has replaced it with a large crab claw that has been stitched on in a way that doesn't seem like it's entirely like safe, but it works. And he reaches out with his big old meaty claw and he touches your ruby and he says, "We accept these." And he touches it, and it becomes just a pebble that you now have, and he looks 40 gold richer. But yeah, you each have those. Keep track of that because, as it turns out, if you're going to deal with Grung, that might be important.
So they'll last a week in our
They will-
satchels
correct.
before they go bad,
Yep.
and
And
you said they give you
They
advantage.
give resistance to poison,
Okay.
and advantage on saves against poison.
All right.
And they will do that for 1 hour.
Wonderful.
And you also get your newts, and you can get whatever drinks and foods there, and then make your way over to Docksea. When you get there, you find a small ship. There are 3 ships. There are actually 4 ships at it. And as you walk through, there's one at the far end that looks like it's the nicest one, but that is not the Night Cutter. There's one that's a little bit closer, that's smaller. It has a sail, and there are 2 to the side that don't have sails. They seem to be just oar ships. Which ones do you want to approach?
The Night Cutter implies that it's fast, so I'm going to assume it's the one with. Oh, unless it's out at sea.
Yeah, it's like a smuggler ship. You want to be a little
Yeah.
indistinguishable.
Maybe we want to go for a row.
The God damn it, Ryan. Nina Pinta, Santa Maria, and Bodie McBoatface. Great. So what?
Wait,
Trying to think
What
of
was the
what the
second one?
note said.
So there's a large. It says the Night Cutter. Now you could always walk up to them and
was
look
like-
for the words.
Is there one that has the Night Cutter on it?
Ding, 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 Night Cutter!
Yes, there is.
Ding, ding, ding.
And as you approach it, it's the sailboat, not
great.
the big sailboat, but the small sailboat, a fast small sailboat. And as you approach it, you notice that there are 2 people standing at the gangplank, keeping watch.
I've dropped my disguise, by the way,
Okay.
after the long rest.
All right. And they look at you, not terribly pleased to see you.
What's
Show him the
the
pin, show him the pin, show him the pin.
When you hold up the golden pin to them,
just
they
assumed I have
look
it.
to one another, and they look to you, and they say something to one. They have a short conversation with one another, but it is not in common. What languages do all of you speak?
Dwarvish and Elvish?
Okay, you don't understand them.
Let me see. Scooby Doo.
On bottom left.
Features and
Oh.
traits.
Oron, Common, Goblin, Primordial.
Well, you got a lot.
No, none
Where
of
the
you
hell
understand
are
them.
those? Oh, there I am. I am Aarakocras,
left side,
Auron,
other
and Common.
I speak Orion, Common, Deep Speech, and Minotaur.
No, none of you understand. They're speaking at
I didn't know what we'd run into.
That's fair. That's fair. It's reasonable. Yeah, you're not sure what language they speak.
It was an elective in college.
But they do let you in, and they guide you, and they point you towards the captain's quarters. And as you go in there, the door is unlocked, but the chair is facing away. There are seats for all of you. If you would like to come in and have a seat, do you all come into the captain's quarters?
Sure. Yes.
As you do,
really quickly, can I just like look around the room and see if there's anything that could be like a trap or?
Yeah.
Sure.
Or,
You
like,
can do
lock us
a
in.
quick investigation check.
Cool. Oh, not great. 5.
You don't see anything that seems to be a trap.
Seems safe. Let's go.
Yeah. And as you get there, once you're inside, you hear a voice. Sounds like a young woman, probably in her early 20s. And she says, "Can I help you?"
We're here about the job.
We were sent
Can
by.
we help you?
What-
Yeah.
Oh God, what's his name? I have the note. I shouldn't just read it. What does it say again?
Let me go see. It doesn't have a name on it,
Oh,
but
it
it does refer to you as Most Honorable Jaybirds, and it says, "Tell no one your purpose. Simply show this pin."
Oh, great. We were told to find you and to show this pin.
And she turns around, and she looks like a pretty ordinary human woman, aside from the fact that her right eye seems to have been burned out of her face. And she looks at you with her one good eye.
Look at it.
And
I look
she-
right into the socket.
She doesn't find it awkward.
Yeah.
Like she's totally fine with how
Great.
forward you are. And with her one good eye, she takes a look and she sees the pin, and she smiles. She has altogether too many teeth.
Oh no.
And she says, "Good. You're just who I was hoping would come by. Please, have seats. And there are enough chairs. You can have a seat."
Scared me.
No, what? Sit down.
And she says, She says, "You've come highly recommended. I understand that you are some of the best at what you do."
Oh, that's a fact.
Absolutely.
She smiles and says, "That's good." She leans forward and says, "My name is Rima, and I need something. You are familiar with the grung who make their home in the forest?"
Yeah, they
Yes.
taste terrible.
Intimately, yes.
She nods and smiles again. Again, there's too many teeth. And she says, "So they have a store of things. I don't need most of it. I need one item. It's an antler. A golden antler. You'll know it's the right one when you see it. Everything else in there is yours. They collect enormous racks there.
Oh God.
They come from enormous, which are like moose, but enormous. And you would be aware that enormous racks are enormously valuable. They are worth at least 200 gold pieces each. And she says they in their central tree have dozens, maybe even 100 enormous racks. And one golden antler. If you can bring me the golden antler, then you may keep the enormous racks."
So,
Yes, please.
so if we bring you the antler, we can have as many enormous racks as we want.
She nods.
We could be swimming in enormous racks.
She says, "No, because they are not liquid."
I was thinking more along the lines of Scrooge McDuck, but that's fine. Yes.
That would, if you were to
Very
try
pointy.
to jump into a large money bin of enormous racks face first, you would break your head and die.
Understood.
So I would suggest
Thank you
not
for
doing that.
caution
But
measure.
you can have them all.
Wonderful.
I have no need for them. I have only need of the golden antler.
Golden antler, got it.
Okay.
But I need a group that can infiltrate and can get inside. And she looks at you. You may realize that you are not strong enough to carry that many enormous racks.
Yes. Do you have a way for us to hold these?
She nods and she reaches into her jacket. and she pulls out a small anchor. It's a small metal anchor. It's only about, maybe 6-8 inches. It's not big enough to actually hold something in place. But when you look at it, as she turns it, it glimmers with this prismatic color. It looks to be made of rainbows almost, as if they have been compressed and pressed into a stone or a metal, like an ore.
Can I do an
And she
arcana?
hands it over. It's wrapped in vines that have grown into it and are holding it fast. And she puts it on her desk. She slides it across. And she says, I have arranged a getaway driver.
Oh.
And poke it.
It does not do anything untoward towards you. If you want, you can make an Arcana check on it.
You do it.
Yes.
Who is gonna?
Oh,
I've got
7.
a 15.
A 15?
7
All right. One of the things you notice is that, usually an anchor would be attached to something. Now, this is not, which implies that it doesn't need to be. And as you look at it and recognize it, you think this might be wearstone, the very same kind that Count Glitterbomb works with.
Yes, you remember Count Glitterbomb.
Yes, the very same kind that he works with. And she will explain, when you are ready, plant this wherever you are. It can be in the side of the tree. It can be in the ground. And wait. It will only take less than a minute, and your getaway driver will arrive.
Do you have a blueprint of where we're going in?
She will not. She will gladly give you a lot of the information that you need. She'll give you directions through the forest to where it is, and there is a large central tree that actually has waterfalls coming out from it. It seems that it draws up the water from a spring deep underground, and rather than just having it for itself or bubbling out of the ground, it pulls it all the way up before it starts to cascade out the sides of this enormous redwood. It is the largest redwood in the entire forest, and it is swarming with Grum, your mortal enemies, Mr. Toad's people. And so she explains that you will need to go there, and only the Aarakocra would be capable of it. Because to try to get to it from the sides would be impossible. They would see you coming. They would be able to stop you. But to descend down from the canopy, which you can do.
The completely intact canopy, of course.
Yes. Well, that part of the canopy has not been destroyed. You
Great.
don't live there. But yeah, so if you can come down through the canopy, then you will be able to infiltrate. Make your way down to the bottom. Hey, we've got raiders!
Hey, they're the raid
Hey.
Frank House.
And once you make your way inside, you can break your way in. You can defeat anyone who stands in your way. And you can make your way away with the booty, as it were, the enormous rags.
And the golden antler.
And the golden antler, which you are then to return here to Lippleton Docks and the Night Cutter and hand over to Rima.
Maybe.
Yes, of course.
If you want, you
Absolutely.
can make an insight check on her.
Yes. Do. Mother. 9.
You can totally steal from her. Her eye got hurt in something entirely benign. and she probably has never seen action before.
Someone
And-
said she was a
and, yeah.
sight for sore eyes.
I saw that. But yeah, so you now have your assignment. You know what you're going to do, and you know how much you can possibly make off of this. It can be extraordinarily lucrative.
Things on the screen.
Now, enormous racks. One enormous rack is as big as all of you.
Oh, God.
Because they're from an enormous.
That's an enormous Rex.
Yes, and so there. It's going to take quite a getaway driver to get away with these. And she hasn't given you all the details on that. She just says if you plant this, your getaway driver will arrive.
It's
Sure.
Mr. Toad, I swear to
But yeah, and so that seems like about the right place to wrap up. You have successfully navigated your way past a number of Heist food villains, hasted food, and made your way across along the coast of the Rels Sea and to Lippleton Docks, where you have met on the Night Cutter Rima, who has hired you to go forth and retrieve for her this golden antler, which you can learn more about next week.
Yay! Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
And thank all of you for coming to watch. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for all your support. All your donations do go right back into supporting this channel. So much appreciated. If anything you saw tonight you think was worth at least $1, please consider joining our Patreon. With tiers starting as low as $1, but at tiers 3 and above, you can get yourself an exclusive Perception Studio pin, just like this one. And for every 3 consecutive months, you'll get a new pin. So currently, those are the cucumber pins. So my face with a little rage, me all mad. I look like the emoji. Go figure. And that'll get to your house. And yeah, there's some behind the scenes stuff, like some talkback shows and all that good stuff that we do there for you. Sorry about the last Behind the Legacy. We didn't do audio. Whoopsie. Yeah. But if you're real good at reading lips, we could send that to you. But as always, we're gonna pay all the love forward with a raid. So everyone stick around, don't go anywhere. And Ryan, who are we gonna raid? No, right? You let me know. Because I'm just stalling, and you know why? Because Dick Sword, everybody!
Dick Sword!
Dick Sword!
Dick Sword.
Dick Sword. That's a name on the thing. Again,
Oh.
y'all can't see the screen.
Dick Sword.
He's over here.
Anyway, he's one of our Patreons. I'm not just screaming Dick Sword. Either.
You never know.
I strongly suggest just
You're
doing
right.
that in
With
public.
me,
You never know.
but thank you so much. What do you say, Ryan? He says,
Scott.
Okay.
You need to tell us who we're reading.
Scott Kloppenstein.
Scott Kloppenstein.
Yeah.
Scott.
Dino, fill everyone in.
Oh, Scott Kloppenstein was the trumpet player for Real Big Fish, the ska band. And he now does his own stuff with the Littlest Man Band. He's putting out new music, which was concert last weekend. He's awesome. He was on Chat Time a little while ago. He is a wonderful friend. And please show him some support and some love. He's going to be playing some music for y'all and covers. So yeah,
badass.
Scott
He's
K.
dope.
Badass.
That was a mouthful.
Badass.
Yes.
What do you see?
Have fun, guys.
Yay!
Yes,
Thank you,
thanks
everybody.
Cheers.
Have a good night. Cheers.
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 Bye.
Drink it. You drink, Scoot.